plugging in my earbuds over and over again.
Oh, really? And they finally worked, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we finally got it to work. And now we're finally live after, what, 20 minutes of trying to figure this out? More than that, actually, because we were trying to get started a little bit early. We're finally on. We're finally online talking about E3. Welcome to my guest.
Oh, well, hey, what's going on? Well, can you still hear me?
Yep, no problem.
Okay, good. So, E3.
Yep, E3. Again, another great E3. One that I sadly did not see a whole lot of. I was busy the entire week. I did not sit and watch every single conference. I think the only one I did all the way through was Nintendo because I was just so busy. I mostly just stuck with highlight reels for everything else. And man, I was not impressed.
Well, I went against my word. I actually started watching the conferences because I had nothing else to do.
Yeah.
And, well, you want to go by them one by one, or?
I guess we might as well, or just give a general idea, because I still have no idea. Like, I've seen, like, I feel so out of the loop with this E3 because I've seen nothing. I've seen no details on, like, you know, what the highlight of each conference was, what the downfall was. Like, I saw the Bethesda conference, and that was a joke. Yeah, you know, the whole Woo guy. Yeah. And I was at work listening to that, and this guy next to me kept giving me these weird looks because I just could not believe what I was hearing. I was not even watching it. I was listening to it on my phone, and I was just like, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe this is real. This is E3 right now. Woo! Over like mobile game announcements, Dragons and Fallout. I think that's what they announced, right?
They also announced
Dragons and Fallout. Yeah. Woo! That's really exciting. So I sat through that.
Well, let's just run by them quickly then.
Yeah.
You didn't really miss too much anyway.
Yeah. I saw a little bit of EA. I think it was EA was the first, right?
Yeah.
So I saw a couple of highlights of that, and I saw the Jedi trailer, and I was just.
You can technically say that Google was the first.
Oh, well, didn't Pokemon come first? Or no, it came the day after, didn't it?
Well, that's a week before.
Yeah. So, we had the Stadia announcement last week, which nobody cared about. Nobody cares about it at all. Now that a week has passed, like, people are getting even more skeptical of it because, like, we know what the reasoning behind it is. We know that third-party developers want to get rid of your ownership of the games. Like, it's not enough to be digital only anymore. They want games to be streamed so they can have this built-in DRM system where you couldn't possibly pirate anything or sell a used copy, essentially. They're trying to thin their profit margins or trying to make even more money, essentially.
It's just like what the Xbox One was.
No. It's even worse. Okay, let's not like put any illusions behind this. The Stadia is worse than what the Xbox One was because I think with the Xbox One you were supposed to buy like a physical copy of a game that just had to be connected to be functional, right?
Yeah.
Stadia is worse than that since you have to constantly be streaming and constantly taking in new data. Constantly. And there's no physical component. There's no console. There's no physical copies of games. You're just going on YouTube, clicking on a game you want to buy, and then doing that. It's just.
Well, you do get a controller.
Yeah, for $120, isn't it? Yeah. I guarantee you the quality of that controller is not that great. Because, like, I think it's harder than it looks to make a game controller. I think because, like, third-party controllers tend to be not that great.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be the same kind of quality that we get from Xbox or PlayStation or Nintendo. So we'll have to see if there's like a serious problem with that. But yeah, I'm with the consensus on this one. Like Stadia is shaping up to be a complete disaster, and I'm honestly thinking that this might actually lead to a major disaster in the gaming sphere, because so many companies are putting their weight behind this thing, and so many companies are relying on it to succeed because they desperately want to move past Xbox and PlayStation and sort of enter this platform where they can sort of exist just by like make money just by existing. You know what I mean? Like,
well, it's not just that too.
Yeah.
Also, a bunch of third parties are trying to make their own streaming services as well.
Oh yeah. Ubisoft. Like I was unaware of this in the Google conference because they kind of glazed over it. But Ubisoft stated that they were going to have like their own add-on service to Stadia. So not only are you expected to pay $10 a month for Stadia, you have to pay an extra $25 a month for Ubisoft games. I'm not sure what the $25 goes to. Like, do you get games for free through like a Netflix service? Do you get like?
Well, it's not a Netflix service. You have to pay $60 for the game first, and then
you have to pay like so you have to pay the $25 to get access to like full price games. Is that it? Is that what they're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to add like.
You have to pay for the game too.
Yeah. That's what I meant. You have to pay for the game, and I think that's going to be like what really kills this thing. Like right in the water before it could even take off. You have to pay for the game on top of that because they don't want to lose the money that they're selling for physical full copy games, right?
That's its biggest advantage too.
Yeah. So that's what they're doing right now. They're trying to make this happen, and everything we've seen so far seems to indicate this is going to be a disaster.
If it was just like Netflix, I can see it being somewhat feasible.
For movies, yeah. But movies aren't games, despite what Sony PlayStation wants you to think. But
okay. Now, you pretty much said everything about Stadia.
I think there's a lot more we could say about Stadia. I could probably go hours talking about Stadia because there's still a lot that I think a lot of people aren't talking about when it comes to that thing. Because Google is being so shady when it comes to this thing. It really does feel like they're trying to push it out the door before other companies can make their own streaming service. They're trying to become the established streaming service before anyone else. And it feels like maybe if they waited like another 10, 15, 20 years, they could have made it feasible. They could have made it work, but they didn't because they don't want to have to compete with a bazillion other services that are doing the exact same thing. So they're just shoving it out the door before it's ready. It is the Sega Saturn of streaming services, essentially.
Hey, Zoom or Zamageddon, Stadia is a ripoff. They will never talk about the latency issues.
Yeah, they won't. They're not. Yeah, they're not talking about latency issues. They're not talking about like the benefits that a consumer could have with it. There are no benefits for the consumer. This is entirely something that's being pushed by the corporations to like support their bottom line. And I don't know, like maybe a streaming service would be a good thing for something like Madden, where so you won't have to buy like a yearly installment of the same game over and over and over again. Like just have a rotating cast of like, or in real time of team members or whatever, stuff like that. So you don't have to like buy a new game every year. But like for most games, like this is just going to be a complete wreck. Like especially for online games. We're talking about like primarily single player games here. When we're talking about latency issues and stuff like that. Like imagine how bad an online multiplayer game would be. Like people are going to be clipping through walls. You're going to have like shooting issues. Like there's going to be no one around you, and you're going to like die. It's going to be ridiculous.
And with all these streaming services coming out too, it's like the '80s when there was a whole bunch of consoles.
Oh yeah. They're trying to jump in on this because companies can't compete with Nintendo. Pretty much just Nintendo from like a console standpoint, and that's why they want to evolve the formula. They want to change things up so Nintendo doesn't dominate the industry in quite the way they do. Because PlayStation and Microsoft don't dominate at all because they have to blow millions of dollars. hundreds of $1 million, I would say, to stay competitive with Nintendo. Because I think a lot of people vastly underestimate just how much it costs to stay competitive with Nintendo. Because you have to have the realistic graphics, you have to have the open world, you have to have the most possible hardware, you have to take massive losses on that hardware. You have to do all of this stuff just to stay competitive, not even do better. And meanwhile, Nintendo is doing stuff like selling Wii's for $250, a literal GameCube with motion controllers, and like having that be the most profitable console that generation. Stuff like the Switch. People meme a lot about how the Switch is underpowered, but what they don't want to admit is that because it's so underpowered, or reasonably powered, I should say, it's making them more money. So they can put that towards better games. And meanwhile, Sony, Microsoft, all these third parties, they're bleeding money, like left and right, center, like everywhere. They just cannot compete. And Stadia is supposed to be this way out for these third parties. They want this to stop. They're sick of losing money on PlayStation and Xbox. They don't want to go to Nintendo because they know they can't compete with their games. But if they go to Stadia and become the dominant force there, they'll control the industry. It's all a big joke. It's all just a kind of a power play.
Okay. Now, should we move on to Microsoft?
Yeah, sure. I did not see anything from Microsoft at all. I know they announced the new Halo. Angry Joe put it on his top 20 best games at E3 2019 list, despite the fact that it did not have a trailer. It did not have any gameplay shown. And I'm so irritated by that. You know, because like Halo 4 wasn't good, Halo 5 wasn't any good. Like even Halo 3 to an extent was kind of a downgrade, less popular than 2, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think 2 is pretty much the go-to Halo game for most people.
Yeah. Everybody loves 2 because like it codified this online play stuff. It's probably not the best shooting game of all time, but I guess it deserves its place in history because of like putting online play on consoles and making it feasible, right? It sort of has its place in history. So I don't know. When did Halo 2 come out? Like 2014, right? 2004, right? Around that time. Like, it's been 15 years. Why are there still Halo fanboys going around acting like a new Halo announcement is something grand and spectacular, right? Like, I don't understand this. Like, Halo 4 disappoint. Like, we've been on a downward spiral since, at the very least, since Bungie left. Well, that was the narrative, and that sort of like led to the situation where Destiny is in now, where people will overhype Destiny because Bungie is working on it, and it just.
Well, Halo is Microsoft's biggest game.
Yeah, it's their only game, pretty much. Well, I guess Gears is all right. Well, Gears has its popularity, but I guess that's going downhill too. You know, I just yeah, I own Gears actually. I've been meaning to go back to it. It came with my Xbox and Rare Replay for some reason, but I just never got around to finishing it. But what I played of the first one was really good. I really liked it.
But I have to say, launching a console with your biggest franchise is a smart move. And that's what Nintendo did with the Switch.
Yeah. Yeah, but like, this could be like the end of Microsoft. Like, I am shocked they're even trying to put out a new console with like the state the Xbox One is, and like the state of the industry as a whole, and like the state of the like. I don't think Halo right now is relevant enough to really sell an Xbox. Like, I don't. Like, I think this is going to be another Xbox One X situation where Microsoft pumps out this thing, tries to hype it up, and then it falls flat on its face when it finally comes out. Because like I was really hyped for Scalebound. I think you know the story. Like I love the Wonderful 101. It's one of my favorite games of all time. So when Microsoft announced Hideki Kamiya Xbox One exclusive. I immediately went out and bought an Xbox One, which makes me infinitely better than all the Bayonetta fanboys who bitched about Bayonetta 2 being on Wii U. But I went out and bought an Xbox One because of Scalebound, because it looked so good and it had such great talent attached to it. And then they canceled it. And now I'm furious at Microsoft and just will not buy anything from them anymore. And I think that's going to be Halo Infinite for a lot of people. I think it's going to be very disappointing, underwhelm people. This could be like the final nail in the coffin for this franchise, I think.
Well, Microsoft right now is buying out of the console industry.
Yeah, it really does feel that way because the Nintendo conference.
Switch too.
Yeah, they bought Double Fine, but like Double Fine is still putting like Rad on Switch. They're still putting Psychonauts 2 on other platforms. Like Minecraft is big on other platforms. Games are on PC. Like I don't even know why they're putting out another platform unless it's like a Google Stadia box or something like that. Like I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what they're doing.
But I heard they're also looking to putting the Master Chief Collection on the PS4.
I heard that kind of rumor has been going around for years. I'm not sure. I think they're competing with Sony more than they're competing with PlayStation, if that makes any sense. Because if you look back on the Xbox One reveal, they were talking about like all their multimedia features, like their TV shows and stuff like that. Stuff that was supposed to reach this like broader audience, right? It was supposed to be this multimedia device in the living room. And I think that's the mindset they're going into this when it comes to Xbox, is that they don't necessarily want a gaming console. They want something they want like a PC that's in the living room. And a gaming console is just a convenient way to get people to buy it, to buy into this kind of thing. And I think I think that's the end result of Xbox and what they've been working to.
Zom, we're getting to Nintendo soon, so I'll address that. As
yeah, we're getting to Nintendo. The entire reason we're doing this stream is because of Nintendo. There was nothing else to talk about. Was there anything in any of these conferences that you liked?
Wait, but there was one cool thing from Microsoft's E3.
Oh yeah.
That was Phantasy Star Online 2.
Oh yeah. Oh, was that where they showed it? Yeah, I heard it was coming. I heard it was coming out, but it's also coming to the Switch, I believe. So it's not even really a Microsoft announcement. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm playing I played the original on Sega Ages on my Switch, and I actually really liked it. So despite how old it is, it's a JRPG from the 80s. But I've heard lots of good things about Phantasy Star Online too. So I'm really interested in trying it.
I think we can skip Ubisoft.
Ubisoft, yeah. They didn't have a single Nintendo. Well, I kind of want to talk about Watch Dogs Legion for a moment because it feels like the Watch Dogs cycle is coming up again, where everybody is getting pretending to be excited about this new mechanic of being able to play as anyone. And no one's actually getting excited, but it feels like Ubisoft's big thing for that show was talking about how you can play as literally anyone in London. Yeah, we need to talk about like the political aspect.
I was surprised they didn't say anything about like the current election going on inside the UK.
Well, he talked about Brexit, which I think kind of touches on the issue. Because like I think the UK election, there's something literally called the Brexit Party that is entirely devoted to making sure that Brexit happens. And liberal shills, I know J.K. Rowling is like this. I know other liberal people are like this. They desperately do not want Brexit to happen. I'm not sure why, because I'm not from the UK. I don't care really. I think they should resolve their own problems. But like people like that desperately don't want Brexit to happen. And so this Ubisoft executive, this is their entire marketing standpoint, is going up on stage and start talking about how terrible Brexit is and how London is going to be like become this authoritarian regime under like Nigel Farage, and it's just so ridiculous, especially since they spent so much time leading up to this announcement, like reassuring us that like, ooh, Ubisoft isn't political, and then they're doing stuff like this, like resist the conservatives or whatever. Hi, Lila, nice to see you.
Hey, what's up, man? EA was worse than bad, man. EA was absolutely abysmal. You can just skip EA and not miss a single thing of importance at all.
Yeah. It's embarrassing at this point, right? Where EA showed that Star Wars trailer, and it felt like it looked exactly like The Force Unleashed, like from a gameplay. Well, not even as it had the same kind of powers. You like do the lightsaber in the same way that you do in other lightsabers. Like it didn't feel original or interesting at all. Like if this game did not have the Star Wars license attached to it, like nobody would care. Nobody would care. Like this feels like Disney lazy bare bones Star Wars material, like at its absolute worst, essentially. I don't know, maybe not as bad as Battlefront 2, because like Battlefront 2 had like the loot box issue, but you know what I mean, right? Like this looks boring. It looks uninspired. I don't even see why anybody's talking about it, to be honest with you. Just because EA is involved and Star Wars is involved,
Wait, I want to finish my point about Ubisoft first.
Oh yeah, sure, go ahead.
I was expecting Ubisoft to get more political when the guy first mentioned Brexit, but I don't remember him doing so. So
no, he did. Like he went on stage and started talking about Brexit and started talking about how that influenced Watch Dogs Legion and how you are literally the resistance against Brexit, about what Brexit will bring to London if it becomes a thing, and it's just so ridiculous, right? Yeah, I think he brings up Brexit by name. I've seen clips of it where he literally says Brexit will do this, and it just, wow. Ubisoft claims they're not being political.
But when I watched Ubisoft, I wasn't watching it raw. I was watching someone else stream it.
Yeah. You probably missed it then, because it was just sort of like a blink and you miss it moment. Because it says that segment during Watch Dogs where he's talking about like London was once the centerpiece of our civilization. Now it's fallen to ruin because of Brexit, and now you are the resistance who must resist it. It just he brings up like deportation squads and stuff like that. And then like everybody in London is like trying to fight back against it in the world of Watch Dogs Legion, and it just that's one of the things about liberals that I really don't like. Their constant obsession with portraying themselves as like the resistance, even though they have like millionaires and these corporate executives and people like that on their side. Like you're not resisting anything.
I was going to applaud him for not being political, but I guess he actually did get political then.
Yeah.
So never mind.
Yeah, you must have missed it then, because they definitely did do that for Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs was like the most blatant example of that in E3 this year. It's getting worse all the time, you know, because they got rid of like this has been affecting video games for years. You know, they got rid of attractive female booth people. They got rid of, you know, attractive female characters in video games. It's stuff like that mostly that I've been noticing. But now they're like taking this really extremist approach where they're actually taking real world political opinions and like implementing them into their games and like using that to like bludgeon people with them. It's getting way out of hand. I would strongly suggest not supporting Watch Dogs Legion going forward. And not just because it's a bad game, but because this sets a bad precedent.
Okay, so should we move on to the next one?
Is there anything else with Ubisoft that we need to talk about? I don't think there was. Like, it was a really terrible show.
I honestly can't remember much.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I want to talk about Bethesda. Did we talk about Bethesda at length?
Bethesda is up next.
Yeah. Bethesda. I don't even remember anything they talked. Okay, Bethesda was the one that I saw, and the thing that got me about this, the thing that got me about their announcements and what they talked about was mostly the fact that, man, they really love shoving mobile releases into these things. They desperately want you to support these things and like talk about them and pretend they're relevant in any way. You know, like the Commander Keen thing. What other mobile games were there? That was the one that stuck out to me.
I don't remember much else, but turning Commander Keen into a mobile game, imagine your favorite childhood game you grew up with. It's on hiatus for a while. It comes back as a mobile game.
Well, yeah, that would be terrible. Yoshi's Island as a mobile game would be horrible. Like, I'm not familiar with Commander Keen, so I know nothing about the franchise or its history or anything like that. But like, even I was annoyed by this because I don't know about you, but I am getting sick of mobile games. You know, like, I'm getting sick of people talking about them at shows like this and trying to promote them and trying to get you to get these loot boxes and support this and stuff like that. And during this E3, I said this on Twitter. I think I mentioned this in a video too. I think mobile games need to just go ahead and get their own show or have their own conference. Like, don't waste our time, essentially. Like, nobody wanted to see this. This was a problem with Square Enix too. But Bethesda was especially bad about it, I think, because it's like shoving mobile games everywhere.
Now, Bethesda did have one interesting game. I forgot what it was called. That one Asian lady.
Oh yeah, the one that everybody was like lusting over the instant she came off on stage. She's so cute. Well, I didn't see. Yeah. I need to watch the show again because when I saw it, I didn't think she was that attractive, and I was just kind of like really annoyed by it. Like, people memeing about how attractive she was. I was just like, she's not that attractive. Well, I was like thinking about this. Well, how old is she? I guess she would be attractive if she was like in her 30s or something. But if she was like in her 20s, no way, no way. I see like better looking women on the street, man. Just well, she seemed genuinely enthusiastic, so I don't want to like shit on her too much. But it was just one of those situations where I felt like people were talking about the conference for the wrong reason, and that sort of annoyed me a bit.
Well, there wasn't much else to talk about.
Yeah, there wasn't much else to talk about besides how much everyone wanted to stick their dick into this girl. I just
But she also but this is the game studio that Shinji Mikami made.
Yeah. He came out on stage. Tengu Softworks. Yeah, I think the girl was one of his like handpicked lead developers. So if that's true, she might actually be, you know, a female in games. You know, the sort of person that like Anita Sarkeesian says doesn't exist because of misogyny, but then everybody hates them and like bullies them or whatever. This one comes out on stage and everybody loves her. So I just
Well, Reset Era wasn't very happy about people memeing her.
Oh yeah. Wait, did I have the same opinion as Reset Era? That I was annoyed at people lusting after it? Man, that's so weird.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, but for different reasons.
Oh yeah, different reasons. Yeah, because Reset Era doesn't want like attractive women there at all, right? They think it's like objectifying them or whatever. If it was a child, it would be okay. Yeah. Reset Era has been exposed as having pedophiles and like hosting pedophilic content, and they're trying to do damage control on it right now. But I think it's going to come out eventually, and we're going to get like we know it exists at this point. It's just a matter of like really getting a hold of who's doing it. I think
NeoGaf 2.0.
Yeah, it really is NeoGaf 2. It's the whole social justice thing. Like it just breeds degeneracy. Like male feminists tend to be rapists. I don't know if you've noticed this. Like a lot of these people are like child prey on children. It just man. Like NeoGaf crashed and burned because of a sex scandal too. So it just there are so many of these online communities that have these kind of problems. It's just downright bizarre. I guess the internet attracts all these like really depraved people from like all these different backgrounds. I actually did not check Reset Era at all during E3. I really should have. I really should have taken the time to do it because I would have loved to see what they had to say about the Asian girl. What is her name? I don't want to
see some people talking about it on Twitter.
Yeah. Twitter is like my main source of information when it comes to these things because I don't go to Reset Era. Like, why would I? Nobody talks about games on there. Like, I think even Emily Rogers left, and I think that might be because she became aware of the pedophile thing and wanted to distance herself from it. Because she's a lot of things, but I don't think she's a predator or anything like that. She seems like a normal woman. Like, I think she is left leaning, but I don't think she's one of those people. If that makes any sense. Like the worst thing she ever does is like fake Nintendo leaks. So I don't like her, but everybody like I guess compared to everything else on Reset Era, she wasn't the problem here. Let's see. So is there anything else to talk about Bethesda besides how terrible it was and how cute she was?
Well, Tingle Gameworks makes some good stuff, so the game it isn't being made by Shinji Mikami. He's pretty much retired now.
Yeah. I was surprised at how young he looked because I knew I had no idea what he looked like. Like I know he'd been retired since like The Evil Within was the last game, right? And that came out like what 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So I thought he was a lot older than that. I thought he was just in like now he's still going on stage and now he's like he looks like he's in his 40s, so like Sakurai's age. I'm just like what? How old is this guy?
He's in his mid to late 60s.
Really? Yeah. I thought he looks incredibly young. I was really surprised. Like that was what I was thinking about doing this whole this whole she's so cute thing. Like Shinji Mikami looks young. It's just so that's where my mind was. So the girl couldn't like distract me from my love of Shinji Mikami and everything he's done. I was just like, wow. So that's Shinji Mikami, huh? Well, I hope he does well. Like The Evil Within, it wasn't great. I never played the second one. Like The Evil Within is kind of a mixed bag for me. Have you played it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's kind of a mixed bag. I think it's like it does so many things really well, and then it like completely drops the ball on certain other important things. I don't know. It's kind of I can't help but somewhat respect it because it's so much different than other games in the genre and they're being made right now. But at the same time, like I don't think it's a great game if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I can see what you mean.
Yeah. I heard The Evil Within 2 was an improvement, but I don't know. Like I'll be waiting for the Switch version for that one, which I'm sure.
It reminded me of those old school Resident Evil games.
Yeah. It was trying to be like
the ones that came out on GameCube.
Yeah. It was trying to be like the classic RE games, but like structured like RE4. So like you didn't have a lot of bullets and you didn't have like a lot of things you could do to kill enemies. You had to like improvise a lot of times. It was interesting. Like it could have been great, but I think it was kind of a mixed bag. I still have not finished it because I heard the second game gets worse than the first half. The second half of the first game gets worse. So we'll have to see what I think of it when I actually come back to it because I don't think I've played it since like 2016 or so. It's been a while. I think
it's all from Bethesda.
Yeah, that was Bethesda. Bethesda works with them for some reason. I guess that's a good thing for them because I think Ghostwire might actually turn out to be a solid game.
I think Bethesda owns them.
I don't know. I think it's a partnership. I don't know if they outright own them or not.
Well, I hope not.
Yeah.
I don't trust Bethesda.
Yeah, I would like to see Mikami come back to Nintendo hardware at some point, or Tengu Softworks make an actual Switch game at some point, because they've said they wanted to. I think it's just a matter of it actually coming out and happening at this point.
Before we move on,
yeah,
to I think it was Square Enix who's next. Wait, there's Devolver Digital.
The one I did not see. Like that would probably have been my favorite conference if I had actually seen it, because like I saw some of the games they showed in some of the highlight reels I watched, and like some of them look insane. There's like this Contra one with like the heavy metal unit, like heavy metal music. That looks awesome. I saw some other things, but yeah, I really should have seen that. I need to make that a habit next year.
But before we talk about Devolver, I forgot something from Microsoft's conference.
Oh yeah.
If he was going to say, like, how could you forget this game? Cyberpunk.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah. There's a reason I'm not talking about that. I am expecting that game to be like somewhat underwhelming, and like people are like, this game has been overhyped for so long. I didn't see the footage for it, but I'm not excited for it.
No, I'm surprised that they called Elder Scrolls 6 instead of Skyrim 2.
Oh yeah, they actually are calling it 6 instead of. Yeah, they might as well just call it Skyrim 2 at this point, because like nobody says the Elder Scrolls, everybody says Skyrim. I think Bethesda's open world games are kind of on the way out, because like Zelda did them better. Like they're just other.
If they were completed before they came out.
Yeah. They're just too shallow. Like Skyrim isn't some brand new thing anymore. It's been played out. It's been done better, by games like Zelda. Like even Xenoblade has more interesting locations than Skyrim ever did. I think with the Elder Scrolls 6, it's going to collapse in and around itself. Sort of like how Fallout 4 sort of destroyed Fallout, because like nobody talks about Fallout 4 anymore, right? Nobody cares about that game. Nobody's talking about a potential Fallout 5 or a potential spinoff. Like Fallout 4 was just that bad and just that disappointing for people. The Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be like that, and especially since they announced it so early. Like they announced it last year, and we still see nothing. Like when they do show it, I think people are going to be very, very skeptical of it. Like it's going to be this thing that sort of builds up over time, but I do think there's going to be a major controversy regarding Bethesda titles going forward. They just cannot compete with what companies like Nintendo are doing with Zelda. Like we already have a Zelda sequel in the works. Like we actually have a game. Like people bitched about the trailer for Breath of the Wild 2, but at least it was a trailer. Elder Scrolls 6 didn't even give us that.
Well, my problem with Elder Scrolls and Bethesda is that they don't finish their games before they put them out.
Oh yeah. That problem is going to get worse over time. Like
so
it has to become more and more. Yeah. Hmm?
Imagine you buy a movie, half the movie's gone.
Yeah.
So you have to go out, film it yourself, and put that in the movie.
Yeah. That is the state of Bethesda. Like, I think what's going to happen. It's going to be like, I didn't even mention Fallout 76. Like, I was going on that rant about Bethesda, and I didn't even talk about like the biggest Bethesda blunder in recent years. Yeah, that game had tons of issues, right? So I think Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be sort of like that. It's going to launch. It's going to be like literally unplayable. Like I'm imagining a situation where like a significant portion of the player base cannot finish the tutorial section because it's just so broken. And that's going to lead to backlash, and that's going to lead to this situation where, people cannot trust Bethesda anymore. I think that's the inevitable end game here. And we didn't talk about Cyberpunk much at all. We ended up segueing into Bethesda, but I think we do need to talk about that significantly.
We'll get to Square Enix after Devolver.
I said Cyberpunk, not Square Enix.
Oh, no, the guy in the chat is asking when we'll get to Square Enix.
Yes, Square Enix. Yeah, we are going to definitely talk about Square Enix. I would say
go on.
I would say Square Enix probably had the second best show that I saw compared to Nintendo's overall. Yeah. I think everybody is in consensus, unless you're Angry Joe or Sephiroth Sword 57 or someone like that who will try to tell you that Square Enix had a better show than Nintendo. No, they didn't, but it was a second. Okay, I'll give them that. It was a solid showing this year.
Well, I want to get to Cyberpunk first.
Yeah, I really want to talk about Cyberpunk. I did not see the new trailer because I saw the hour-long gameplay demo a while back, and I wasn't impressed with it. Can you tell me what Cyberpunk is like?
Pretty much what Zom said in chat. He said it's like, where is it? It's like Bethesda games, but Rockstar games as well.
Yeah, because it's in like a city.
And mix them.
Yeah, it's Cyberpunk. It's in a city. It's open world, I believe. They're hyping up all these RPG aspects, stuff like that. They have Hollywood people involved.
So it's going to be overall Western RPG.
Yeah, Western RPG. Like, this is the thing that gets me about CG Project Red. Like, it feels like people are overhyping them because the last major Western RPG studio, the one that everybody was hyping up like 10 years ago, BioWare, is pretty much dead now, right? Like, after Mass Effect Andromeda, after Anthem, they're dead. So as a result, like, the fans had to move on to something else. And so they sort of latched on to CG Project Red and The Witcher 3, and now they're overhyping Cyberpunk 2077. Like, I don't think this game is going to be anywhere near as good as people are making it out to be. Just like I don't think Witcher 3 is as good as people make it out to be. I think people are just starved for Western RPGs in general, so they'll just latch on to anything with like that looks somewhat different than the competition. Like Cyberpunk does well. I don't even think you can say it's different than the competition because Deus Ex exists, and that game was pretty well received. It shouldn't have been because that game is terrible, but Deus Ex did fairly well. So, well, the first one did.
Now, when I went to this website called Good Old Games. It's pretty much where you can download games on PC, but you actually own the games. And
yeah,
I was able to get Witcher 1 and 2 for $5 together. I played a little bit of 1. I didn't like it too much.
Oh, really?
I played 2. I couldn't get into that one either.
Really?
So
yeah.
Maybe it's just that I don't like Western RPGs or something. So I'm probably just used to JRPGs.
I don't know about that. Like, I really don't think that the modern Western RPGs are really that good. It's like any other Western game. They just do not emphasize gameplay in any meaningful capacity. They're just like all substance and all style and no substance. Like, what was the big hype-worthy thing that got everybody talking about Cyberpunk 2077? It had nothing to do with the gameplay. Like, Keanu Reeves is in it. That was the thing that got people talking about it. That is what people are excited about. It is the Death Stranding of CG Project Red. They have Hollywood in it, so it must be good. That doesn't make it good, but whatever.
I haven't gotten too far into those 2 Witcher games.
Yeah. I'll be starting with 3. The Switch version got announced, so I just pre-ordered that. Actually, I have my the books in my Amazon wish list right now, and I think I'm gonna buy them and read them on stream or something, just to see, like, because I don't think the vast majority of Witcher fans have actually read the books the games are based on. So that's kind of what I want to do going into this. Is that, like, I want to read the books and then talk about how, like, the game relates to the books and talk about that.
I don't know about Cyberpunk because not a biggest fan of CD Projekt Red.
Yeah.
I might give it a chance.
Yeah, maybe. Like the thing I don't get about like I don't like how everybody goes on about like, ooh, there aren't any cyberpunk games right now. And this goes to like this extends to the entire conference right now. But I just could not help but thinking like every time someone brought up like cyberpunk as like a genre, I'm just like, why is no one talking about like Astral Chain? That looks very cyberpunkish. It's very distinct. It's different than cyberpunk. It's not realistic at all, but that's kind of what makes it fun. You know, I don't see why, you know, fans of action games, fans of stuff like Devil May Cry, fans of Cyberpunk 2077, why people aren't talking more about Astral Chain. It's just so frustrating to me.
Yeah, well, I want to touch on that too when we get to Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo.
But now on to Devolver.
Devolver.
Now, Devolver's conference was a parody of everything.
Yeah, as it always is. Yeah, I should have watched it.
It's called the Devolver Direct. So instead of calling it like the State of Play or State of Connect, they're just honest.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's pretty much Nintendo Direct, but Devolver. Mm-hmm. And they have this ongoing story going on too, so it's really entertaining to watch.
Yeah, I didn't get around to that. I'm sure they showed like better stuff because I think they handled the Messenger last year. The Ninja Gaiden, yeah, that game was really good. So I'm really interested in seeing what they're doing. They're releasing DLC for that too, so I can play it again. Free. Yeah, free DLC for that. So that's better than all the other companies. So yeah. By the way, shameless plug here. Go out and buy the Messenger right now. That game is great, and that's kind of what I'm liking about like modern indie games right now is that they're actually making real successors to classic Nintendo IPs. We're actually getting like Contra games from indie developers. We're actually getting like Ninja Gaiden games. We're getting like 2D, NES style platformer action games in general from indie games. It's just really exciting to me as a fan of this kind of thing to see it become more and more prevalent as time goes on.
Now, out of Devolver's conference, there's one game that stood out to me the most. It was one where you were this horror monster, and it's like a horror game reversed. You have to go hunt people. That looked pretty cool.
Oh, really? Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Oh, is it coming to Switch?
It didn't say what consoles it's coming out to.
Yeah.
I think it just said PC and consoles.
Yeah. That better mean Switch. Yeah. Again, I think it's been the case for a long time now, but like indie games are becoming so much more interesting and fun than AAA games. It's been that way for years, and it just Devolver, I think, is doing a lot to put that to emphasize that in this kind of conference, right? Like just talking about indie games and making it fun, essentially. So what else did they show?
Okay, we've seen the trailer for the Messenger DLC. There's also there's one game with these little colored people running around doing stuff.
Fall Guys.
It's just a trailer. There's no gameplay.
Yeah, I think Angry Joe slammed that on like his favorite indie game of the show list, and I was just like, really, like, where is Silk Song? Like, was Silk Song even there?
I think it was in the sizzle reel. Yeah.
That's the thing that got me about Angry Joe's video. I wanted to rant about this. Like, it felt like he did not see anything Nintendo did at the show. Because I find it ridiculous that, like, not a single Nintendo exclusive, Nintendo developed thing is on that list. Like, he put, like, Ultimate Alliance 3 on there, but not, like, I don't know, Astral Chain, that's the big one, not Daemon X Machina or anything like that. Like, it's just so confusing to me. Like, his list. It just really... Did Devolver... What else did Devolver show?
Okay, Enter the Gungeon is getting a arcade game.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've played that on Switch. I kind of liked it, but I didn't really get into it much.
Not too much really caught my eye.
Yeah, really. That's kind of like I feel like all the best indie game announcements are on like Nintendo indie streams these days because like that's when we got Wargroove, that's when we got like Silk Song, which is kind of a big deal. That's when we got what's another good example?
Oh, there's a Devolver bootleg where it's this game where there's a bunch of bootleg versions of Devolver games.
I don't know what you mean by that. Well, I'm gonna have to watch the Devolver Direct, so maybe I'll make a video about that later. But yeah, I think we need to move on because I just did not see it, unfortunately. I should have, but I just did not have time.
Okay, next is Squeenix.
Yeah, Square Enix, the surprising second best showing this year. Second by a long shot, but it's still second. Like Square Enix actually came out and made some interesting announcements. I was really surprised that they actually came out and like, well, for the most part, a lot of it was ports, right? They ported like Trails of Mana. They ported like these old Secret of Mana games, but those are interesting, right?
Yeah.
I was super hyped for all of them.
Came out in America.
Yeah, the one that never got to America. Yeah, that's a great deal. I'm super excited for that. They talk some more about expansions and stuff like that. Like it all seemed like pretty sizable content, and they also talked about like Switch versions of things. They talked about like what was that Switch game? The Last Remnant, I think it's called. The game that was ported to Switch, like when the conference was over. Yeah. That's some PS2 classic. It's always a good thing to see more of these kind of games get ported to Switch. It is on my wish list. I am going to get it eventually. They showed like Octopath Traveler again. Always nice to see that. I hope PC gamers really get into that because that game is phenomenal.
Yes, they should go and support it because I want Square Enix to know that there's a market out there for classic JRPGs like that.
Oh yeah. That's like one of the big reasons why I don't think I'll ever like say Square Enix had like the best showing in like an E3 because they just do not respect their classic turn-based combat systems. Like all they had to do when it came to Final Fantasy, all they had to do was continue making Final Fantasy games and then make a spin-off series where you actually play where it's actually action-based, right? Like they could have just done that. Like they did not have to transition into making Final Fantasy play like Kingdom Hearts. Like that's doing nothing but like ruining what people like about the classic Final Fantasy games. I just and that kind of leads me to my next point. That like I like the Square conference, but I did not care for Final Fantasy VII-R at all. I have no optimism for that game whatsoever. It is going to be a train wreck.
Well, for the remake, it kind of hurts me to be harsh on it because I really like Final Fantasy VII.
Oh yeah, I do too. I love the original. It's one of my all-time favorite games.
But here's the thing: if anyone remembers this game called Xenosaga, it was supposed to come out. It was supposed to have a huge story spanning 5 games.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out.
Yeah. I wonder if this is going to be the same sort of situation because they're telling us shit like, all of Midgar is going to be expanded into its own standalone game. So you'll be playing like the opening sequence of Final Fantasy VII, like expanded over like a 25-hour long game, essentially. That's what the remake is. And I'm just like, well, first of all, the thing that got me was like I thought it was going to ruin the pacing of the original because like you're going to be stuck in Midgar. Like it feels like they're going to pad the game out with bullshit that kind of ruins the original experience, and they're going to add in a bunch of extra stuff that kind of ruins character motivations or ruins the narrative and takes away from the rest of the game because Midgar is just the opening segment of Final Fantasy VII, and they're trying to sell it as its own game. Really, like, this is an attempt to try and desperately try and sell the game's episodic format to people, and it just, this isn't going to work. I am vehemently against this release and everything they're doing with it. Like everything from the combat, from the release schedule to like the way they're handling it. I am not impressed.
Okay, the entire remake isn't coming out on the PS5. It's coming out on PS10.
Yeah, probably. Getting one episode every console generation. The second game is going to be about the walk to Midgar to the next town. The one after that is going to be the one where Cloud recalls meeting Sephiroth. And like that whole Nibelheim stuff.
I wish they would just take the original one, give it updated graphics, some quality of life
that's
changes.
all they needed to do, right? All they had to do was take the original, rework the graphics to suit modern sensibilities, fix the translation, and they would have been fine. Like, they did not need to go through this elaborate process of like, okay, we need to expand the world of Midgar. We need to expand the world of Final Fantasy VII. We need to give it an action turn-based battle system. We need to take 5 years to develop Midgar. It's just, like, I think the development cycle for the entirety of Final Fantasy VII took less time than this one episode of an already existing game has. It's ridiculous. This development cycle has been a complete disaster. I am not looking forward to this game at all.
I wish I can be happy for it, but they're changing the story. They're changing.
Yeah, they're changing everything people like about it. Like, they're trying to bring in new people, right? But it's not going to work. It's going to be the same problem that like lots of pointless remakes of movies have. This is like, well, if you have this classic movie, just re-release it. Like, you don't need to remake it. It just. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
On the combat, I think the director of Kingdom Hearts is working on it, so Kingdom Hearts combat isn't too bad.
No, I am playing Kingdom Hearts 2 right now, and I've been raging in videos about how much I hate the combat for Kingdom Hearts 2. So I am not optimistic for that either. Like, I think Kingdom Hearts got worse as it got on. I think Final Fantasy. I think it's going to be like Final Fantasy 15, where you just hold down a button and you basically just kill everything. It's not going to be interesting. It's not going to be fun. It's not even really all that action based. I think fans of action games aren't going to like it, and I think fans of Final Fantasy aren't going to like it. They're going to fail on both fronts.
It feels like it's not being made for fans of the original. Like,
no,
it's being made for new age gamers who never played the original, who probably started with like Final Fantasy 13 or something.
I hope nobody started with Final Fantasy 13. But yeah, that's my views on it. Like, they're not remaking a classic game. They're taking this classic and ruining it for everyone, not just the fans, but like for people who never experienced the original, who don't know what makes Cloud such a great protagonist, who don't know what made the original so iconic and memorable. It's not going to be the same. You know, going through this game, this multiple episodic game, I guarantee you most people are going to drop off by the time the first and second episode come off. Like, I don't think this game is going to have the same amount of hype it currently has by the time that episode 2 hits. I just don't.
I guess you can say it comes down to personal preference, but it feels like people who played the original versus people who probably never played the original or just played it very casually.
Yeah, probably.
But they Square Enix also showed a new Marvel game.
Yeah, that one's episodic as well, isn't it? They kind of tried to downplay that. I think they tried to they tried to sell it as like being like, ooh, it's going to be constantly expanding, but we know what that means. That means episodic, and
There's going to be a game as a service.
yeah. They're trying to sell people on this. They're trying to find the buzzwords that get people excited, but it's just not going to work. I don't know why they're so insistent on pushing this shit. Like everybody hates it. Nobody wants this, and yet they're constantly coming out here and like saying like, "Oh boy, aren't you excited about all the possibilities that episodic gameplay brings?" Like, what possibilities? Like, just give me the full game. Develop the entire game. I think the main reason Square wants to do this, specifically, the specific reason that Square wants to do this, is because they want to make an RPG and they want to put so much time and effort into the visuals and like the scripted events and everything that happens, right? The highest possible quality they want. And they just want to provide that in episodic bursts so they don't like blow their entire budget on like this one thing. Like if the game was like entirely top of the line movie quality like animation, it would like destroy their budget. But by releasing it episodically, they can like sort of cut down on that a lot while like not sacrificing visual fidelity or whatever it is that they're trying to do. That's my opinion. Do you have any theories on that?
Well, I have my biggest problem with this Marvel game is kind of petty.
Oh yeah.
But their character models are pretty ugly.
Oh really? Like I thought like Ultimate Marvel Alliance 3 looked bad too. So I actually did not see the gameplay for this the Square Enix one. I'm not super. I don't like Marvel. I don't want to say I don't like Marvel. I didn't get into Marvel. Like when the movies started being popular, I was like, okay, I guess that means Marvel sucks now. So I better go do something else. So I don't know anything about what Marvel's doing or what the characters are supposed to be like. I'm just completely out of the loop when it comes to that.
But they should have went with. They should have gotten the likenesses of the actors. If they couldn't, then.
Oh yeah, they could not do that. Yeah, that's really really expensive. Yeah, way more than you would think.
Like Disney has unlimited amounts of money, all right?
Unlimited, yeah.
Like, you can't.
Well, Disney's like, when you're like Disney and can like throw money around like that, like you end up doing all this stupid shit that like you really shouldn't be doing. Like they blew something like what $200 million on buying like Vox.com, and then they like admitted that like it was a complete waste of money because they were like next to worthless.
Well, hey, we have money to burn like that.
Yeah.
We just do stuff.
Well, it's not going to get them more money, is what I'm saying. Like they can't just spend money indiscriminately. Well, I think Square is the one that has to pay Disney for the. No, how does this work?
I think they have to pay for the licenses, or
maybe. Yeah, that it might come down to Square, which is why they're not really doing it. The actors are going to charge a lot of money for their likenesses to be used, so that's probably why they're not doing it. And like Disney still needs to like support the comics to an extent too. You know, the things that made the movies famous to begin with, or popular to begin with, I should say. So yeah, it makes sense for me to like sort of keep pushing these different versions of the characters. So yeah, that's my. I don't expect this game to be good. Like I just don't. I'm interested. I'm surprised that like so many people are saying that this game is like not really exciting them, especially since the Square Enix conference was so popular.
Well, it's not. The character models aren't my own. It's not my only gripe with the game, but it looks pretty generic, like a run-of-the-mill, over-the-shoulder action game.
Yeah, really generic. A lot of games feel generic these days. Yeah, I don't really have anything to add when it comes to the Avengers in specific. When it comes to the Avengers, that one's up to the fans of Marvel. I don't know whether this game's going to be successful or not. I don't know anything about it. I would say it was one of the low points of this conference. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Other than like the mobile games, like those are always like bottom of the barrel. Then you have like the expansions and the DLCs, and then you have like the lackluster announcements, and then you have like the actual announcements that people care about. How we talked about, we talked about Trails, we talked about Mana. We talked about Final Fantasy 7. I think we're missing something.
Final Fantasy 8 remaster.
Oh yeah, yeah. To no one's surprise, that's being re-released. I'm not. I don't like Final Fantasy 8. I've said this in the past. I'm not excited for that one at all. That game probably needs to be fixed. Essentially, like the way that Final Fantasy 7 ARM is trying to fix Final Fantasy 7. Everything about 8 just annoys me. Have you played 8?
I played a little bit of it when I was younger.
Yeah.
I don't remember too much of it.
It's bad. Like, it is so bad. Like, I think 8 is like the beginning of the end of like Final Fantasy as like a brand. It's what led into like 12 and 13 and 15 and everything that's going on now. Like, everything wrong with Final Fantasy can like be traced back to 8, in my opinion. I just cannot stand 8. There is nothing good about 8. Like, nothing.
Okay. We talked about Last Remnant. There's also Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles.
Oh yeah, that's being released. I never played that one. And they're releasing it on Switch, and it has online play, and I've heard great things about it. So I'm really looking forward to that one. I may actually play it with you guys. Yeah, we'll set up a group and do Final Fantasy raids or whatever it is you do in that game. It'll be fun. Do you know anything about Crystal Chronicles?
I never got into the spin-offs. I just played the mainline Final Fantasy games.
Yeah. There are a lot of spin-off games I never played. Like, I've played Kingdom. I don't even know if Kingdom Hearts counts as a Final Fantasy spin-off game. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts is the main thing that I'm into.
That's a spin-off crossover.
Yeah, I guess it is a spin-off. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts is like the big one. It's bigger than Final Fantasy itself is at this point, I would say. Because like Kingdom Hearts 3 got a lot of hype. Well, it was bigger. I think with Kingdom Hearts 3, I think Kingdom Hearts 3 kind of killed it for everyone. Like that's just my impression. I did not see a lot of people talk about the DLC at all because nobody cares about the story of Kingdom Hearts. It's become like a complete joke at this point.
Well, when I was a kid, I was never into Disney movies.
Yeah.
So I never got into Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts got me into both Disney and Final Fantasy. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I am fans of both of those properties because of Kingdom Hearts. So it's kind of like disappointing for me personally to see this franchise go so far downhill and like completely lose everything that made me like it, that make me like the original. As time has gone on, like these pointless spin-offs, these plot twists that make no sense, the constant shafting of like established characters that I love. I'm not even sure if I'll play Kingdom Hearts 3 at this rate because I'm having such a bad time with Kingdom Hearts 2.
I played a little bit of it, but I was like, I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So once again, I wasn't into Disney too much. But it's pretty much all from Square.
Was it all? I think there's something. I swear we're missing something.
Outrider.
We were talking about. Oh yeah, Dragon Quest 11. That was shown. Yeah, Dragon Quest 11 and Dragon Quest Builders 2, both of which I'm super stoked for. 11 because of what happened in the Nintendo Direct. Well, 11 because I'm such a huge fan of Dragon Quest in general right now. I love Dragon Quest. I think it's great. And then Dragon Quest Builders 2 because I love the original and I'm just excited to have more of that. So yeah, Dragon Quest is going to be great. I'm wondering if it might actually be the best JRPG on Switch so far. We're gonna have to see. I haven't played it yet, but.
Well, there's also Romancing Saga 3, which is being remade but still keeping its pixel art graphics. So that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. I own Romancing Saga 2, but I haven't played it yet. I don't know what I'm doing, but like I bought it on sale and then never got around to actually playing it. So yeah, I need to go around and actually play that. I've heard good things about it, but I need to see it for myself. Is that everything from Square Enix conference? I hope we're not missing a lot.
There's also a shooter called
Outriders. They just showed like a trailer for that though, right? It's not a big deal.
Yeah, just a trailer. It didn't really stick with me too much.
Yeah.
I'm not into too many shooters.
Yeah. They're just kind of boring and generic at this point.
But I
Let's
like
see.
the old school ones, but not into too many modern ones. I think that's all.
I don't think that's all, because I swear there's a lot more exciting announcements, but I guess that's just it. I guess that was it. That was Square Enix's conference. Not the best conference or anything like that, but it wasn't like embarrassing. It wasn't like embarrassingly bad. They showed some stuff. They showed some exciting games. Lots of great ports. Very, very excited about quite a number of things coming up. But like, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, well, they weren't just talking during having a bunch of intermissions between each game. It was just one game after another.
Yeah. That was it was like Nintendo Directs, but like still trying to be a conference. Like I think everyone agrees at this point. Like the Direct format is objectively superior to the conference format. Like they actually show you games, and then they show you more of those games in like the Treehouse live streams, like later on in the day. So yeah, this is why Nintendo has been winning pretty consistently since 2012, 2013 or so, or probably even before that. Like I would say they've always won V3, but that's just my opinion. All right, so are we finally moving on to the only one that anybody actually cares about, the Nintendo Direct stream?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's everything. That's everything in order. Yeah, so an hour in, we finally got around to coming around to what we actually wanted to talk about, which was the Nintendo Direct stream. Now, I happen to have picked up a list of everything they showed, so we'll actually be able to go through everything and talk about everything and not miss anything.
Okay, well, all right.
Yeah, so the Direct started off with a bombshell of an announcement, especially for Japanese fans, and that was the revelation that the hero from Dragon Quest would be joining Super Smash Bros. Ultimate as part of the DLC pack. And I, as a relatively new Dragon Quest, I was super excited to see that. To me, I think that should have happened a long time ago, because Dragon Quest is such a big deal in Japan, and I'm sure Sakurai has been trying to get this to happen for years. I'm not sure why it hasn't happened earlier. Maybe it's because Dragon Quest hasn't really been on Nintendo platforms in recent years. But with Dragon Quest 11 coming out soon, now was a great time for this to happen. I was really thrilled by this trailer. I liked it a lot. I liked the moveset. I like the designs. I like the homages to Dragon Quest and the other characters. Everything I saw looked great.
It really hurt watching reactions and hearing people say, who are these people?
Come on. So embarrassing. I didn't see a whole lot of that. I saw one video from a certain someone that you may or may not know that I've been having a bit of beef with over the past couple of days. He tried to say that nobody wanted this. Well, Japan wanted it, and of course Dragon Quest fans wanted it. This is the thing about Super Smash Bros. Is that it brings in a bunch of characters from franchises you probably have not heard of, right? Together into one game, one interesting game, and it does a lot to get people interested in these characters. I know a lot of people who got into Xenoblade because of Shulk. I know a lot of people who got into Fire Emblem because of Marth and Roy. I know a lot of people who got into. No, I myself got into Fire Emblem because of Ike, because I mained Ike back in Brawl. He was my main character. This Super Smash Bros. Is a great way to get people interested in characters and games that they may not have heard of otherwise. So Dragon Quest 11, the hero, is a great choice, and I'm thrilled to see him come to Smash.
Well, this announcement was for the Japanese audience.
Yeah, and the announcement at the end of the show was for the Western audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have to talk about that, because that in and of itself could probably warrant a reaction stream for itself. But yeah, that was the hero, and so that led into the next segment where as I said, like they led into Dragon Quest 11 and then like talked about how that is coming to Switch and how like the hero is in it and like they talked about some of the expanded features and some of the new things that are coming to this version of the game. Like it has some of the 3DS exclusive features. It has stuff like that. It has a fully orchestrated soundtrack. I'm not sure how Nintendo managed to wing that. I'm not sure if you're aware of the Dragon Quest soundtrack situation.
Yeah.
But are you aware of it?
Didn't the composer say some really politically incorrect things?
Yeah. He basically denies that like the rape of what is it? It's some Japanese war crime. Like he denies that happened, and so like as a result, like he really hates Western audiences. So like apparently he charges a shit ton of money to have his version of the soundtrack be brought overseas. So like so Square typically doesn't bother, but like apparently they did this time. Apparently, so yeah, that's kind of interesting because like people love the original soundtrack for Dragon Quest, so that's going to be good.
Charge the filthy round eyes more.
Yeah, round eyes.
But hey, we got it, so that's cool.
Yeah. We have officially gotten the best version of Dragon Quest 11. Like I still say it should have come out on 3DS over here as well, but whatever. It's better than the PS4 version, so I guess that's all that matters.
I will most likely be playing this entire game in 16-bit mode.
Oh, really? Is there a 16-bit mode? I thought it was an 8-bit mode. Is it 16-bit?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I can't tell my bits apart. I think I will be playing it in like the standard. Well, I think I'll be switching between the two because that's going to be fun for me. Like I remember I played Wonder Boy and the Dragon's Trap. A great game on Switch, by the way. I highly recommend everybody play that.
Yes, Wonder Boy is great.
Yeah. Wonder Boy is the shit, man. Love that game. That game allows you to switch between the original visuals and the newer visuals at like the press of a button. So like throughout the entire thing, I was just like pressing that button over and over and over again, just to see what everything looked like in different visual styles. Like I love that kind of thing, and I wish more games did it. I actually kind of wish that the Zelda 3DS remakes did that. You know, because I love the original art styles. That's the only thing that I kind of one of the things that I kind of wish would be implemented into these is that like I just want to see people. I want people to experience the way the original game looked like back in the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's something I really enjoy. So that's a feature I really like, and I hope makes its way into other games. But I don't think it will. It's like really time consuming, isn't it? Like I can't imagine it's easy.
Well, it's just how wait. You mean adding the different art styles?
Yeah, that. It takes an effort, and like I think there's not enough interest for it to like warrant that effort. You know,
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be a nice thing for remakes.
Yeah. Remakes. I would like that to become like a standard feature in remakes, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Okay, I have a question for you, Harmon.
Yeah.
Are you getting the Spyro Reignited trilogy?
Oh yeah. I think I will. Because did I tell you? Do you know my Spyro story?
No.
No. Okay. So I really love Spyro Year of the Dragon. Spyro 3, right? Like I replayed that game constantly as a kid, like probably more than any other game in my life, because I didn't have a PS1 memory card. So every time I would play it, I would have to start from scratch. So I would like go through these levels over and over and over again. I was never able to 100% clear this game. So I bought the game on PSN and I went through the entire thing. Like I collected every gem, I beat every level, I beat every boss. I was getting ready to clear the final level. I entered the final raceway and then I stopped. Like I had to do something. So I stopped playing. I was tired, right? So I stopped playing right in the middle of that. Went to bed, came back sometime later, and realized that I had accidentally triggered a glitch where I could not collect the very last egg in the game because I quit in the middle of a speedway. So I could not 100% Spyro 3 after spending like hours and hours getting everything else in the game because I triggered a glitch that was impossible to fix.
That's gotta feel really bad.
Yeah, it was the worst. So like, I just dropped the game and I'm just like, okay. When I play this game again, it's going to be like, it'll be a newer, like, I don't get why PlayStation released the original version that had the glitch to begin with on the PSN store. Like, why not just release the Game of the Year edition? I didn't even realize there was a distinction between the two. But like, I accidentally triggered this glitch, and now, yeah, I will be buying Spyro Reignited just so I can clear this game properly. Finally, ridiculous.
So, what's next on the list?
Yeah, next on the list, it was Luigi's Mansion 3. We got an in-depth look at this game about what it's offered, what its content is like, what the new additions are, how it's structured, everything we've been wanting to know. And it's everything I wanted out of Luigi's Mansion sequel.
It's like the old Luigi's Mansion, where it's not sectioned off so much.
Yeah. It's like Luigi's Mansion, but structured. It has like the gameplay of Dark Moon, so it has like the better level design. It has like the improved features and like the more things that Luigi can actually do with like the environment and stuff like that. But like, you actually explore the hotel like you do in the original, which is something that a lot of people really missed from Dark Moon, because like, it's mission based and you sort of go through like the same areas over and over again. A lot of people didn't like that. I personally did. I thought it was fine, but I do think I prefer the structure of the original. So I'm really looking forward to this one.
Oh, there's an important detail as well. Now, Luigi, he's made up of a bunch of ghosts and Luigi's DNA. He's also edible.
Really?
So if Luigi's starving, okay, there's no food around, you can eat Luigi. But since he has Luigi's DNA in it, it's like eating Luigi.
Yeah, really? Yeah. I didn't see like the treehouse stream on this game, so I don't know about like some of the finer points, but like what I saw from the trailer and the direct looked phenomenal. Like Peach and Toad are part of the plot. Like the portrait ghosts are back. It's stuff like that that's gotten me really excited for this one.
I had to point out that very important detail.
Yeah, eating Luigi. Luigi can eat himself. Yeah, that's something we all want to do in Luigi's Mansion.
Why not?
Why
also,
not? Yeah, so I'm definitely buying that one day one. I'm a huge fan of the series, and I want to see it continue. And it's definitely one of the games I'm looking forward to most this year. I hope it won't get delayed. I don't think it will, but I'm surprised they didn't give it a release date.
Hey, there's a new Ghostbusters remake coming out. The Switch version needs to have some Luigi DLC or something.
Oh yeah. Nintendo needs to get on that. Well, it's like a remaster though, right? Of like that really surprisingly good Ghostbusters license game.
Yeah.
Like back in the yeah. I don't think they can really do that because that game had like all the original actors come back, if I recall correctly, and like they're not all alive anymore. So that's going to be
At least put the Poltergust as one of the proton packs.
Yeah. That's how I feel.
We need to start a movement.
Yeah. Luigi's Mansion is basically like a Ghostbusters game anyway. Why don't more Ghostbusters fans talk about Luigi's Mansion? It just annoys me. I'm not a Ghostbusters fan personally, but there definitely should be some more cross fandom thing there. Really excited for Luigi's Mansion 3. Jim Henson Tactics game, Dark Crystal, the one with like the puppet, that weird puppet that starts ranting about like what is it that he's talking about, like the state of the world or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. It's just some like fantasy thing. I love puppetry. I thought the puppet was cool. I just kind of wish they went more into like the details of the game. I believe they showed it off on the Treehouse live stream, so maybe I have to watch that for more details. But like, I think we need to see more. Like, I don't see this being, something that's going to take my attention away from Fire Emblem. Is what I'm getting at here.
And what's a strategy RPG like Fire Emblem? So
yeah. It looks like Final Fantasy Tactics. Yeah. I might like it, but like the characters kind of look generic. They didn't talk about enough about the plot or who's making it, or like what the game or what the gameplay is like. They just showed some people moving on a grid, so we have a general idea of what it is, but like I think we need to know more. Personally, I'll definitely keep my eye on it. Like the puppet, at the very least, has kept this game in my mind. Like I know what it is just by talking about it. Like, why was there a Netflix logo on that trailer? By the way, do they own the series or what?
Oh, they're remaking the series.
Okay, so that's why.
Yeah.
So is this like a licensed game, or is like the series based off the game, or what is this?
This is a tie-in game with the new series that's coming out.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know anything about Netflix, so I'm completely out of the loop.
We'll be getting to Bayonetta 3 soon. We talk about Astral Chain.
Yeah, Bayonetta 3. I think we should say this now. Like, I think Bayonetta 3 won't be talked about again until after Astral Chain has come out. After people have I'm saying sometime in October at the very earliest, I think. Like maybe in the next major Nintendo Direct, like after Astral Chain, we'll see it. But I don't think they're going to talk about Bayonetta 3 before they're done promoting Astral Chain. They don't want the audience to be divided, essentially.
Bayonetta 3 is my most anticipated game right now.
Is it really? We know nothing about that one.
Well, I trust Platinum.
Yeah, well,
like after looking at Astral Chain and how Platinum has combined pretty much everything from every game they made into that one.
I'm so hyped for Astral Chain. Like, I can't be hyped for Bayonetta 3 because we've shown nothing. But we've seen nothing. But Astral Chain looks insane. So I'm just going to play Astral Chain, tell everybody I'm excited for that one, and then just wait for Bayonetta 3 to be talked about more.
Like, there are a lot of games that they didn't talk about that I would like to see.
Oh, like yeah. That's like the elephant in the room when it comes to this E3 Direct that we really need to address is Nintendo did not talk about everything they have in store. Like, they didn't talk about Super Mario Maker 2 much at all. They didn't talk about like some of the other games we know are coming out. I can't think of what else they didn't show at the top of my head. Bayonetta 3 was one. Is there anything else you're looking forward to that they didn't talk about?
No, Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Yeah, Shin Megami Tensei 5 is a good example. It's stuff like
Atlas for that one, though. Atlas right now is busy milking Persona 5. I don't think Persona 5 at all.
Milking Persona 5 by not putting it on Switch where it belongs. I'm just shame on you, Atlas.
At the game at all. I don't think it's bad, but
yeah. I don't hate Persona. I just think it's on the wrong platform. That's all. Like, I played a little bit of Persona 4, and I was really into it for what little I played. So I think I would be a fan.
Great.
Yeah, I would be a fan if I was like younger and like a shut-in virgin incel neat. Like, if I was like that, like I would love Persona, but like I'm not any of those things, so it's just okay to me.
Like, Atlas has so much that there's Digital Devil Survivor. There's
yeah. There are so many Atlas games on 3DS. Like, it's impossible. Shin Megami Tensei 5 is not even on my wish list right now because I haven't even like scratched the surface of like all the stuff they released on 3DS. Like, they had like Devil Survivor 2, they had Shin Megami Tensei 4, they had Apocalypse, they had like the Persona Q2. There's so much good stuff that I don't even like. I haven't even started playing all those games.
I think Atlas is more than just Persona, but I wish they would just stop milking this one game.
Well, like Persona 5 is like huge. It's like the biggest success they've ever had. So yeah, that's why they're milking it.
It makes sense. Think about it like that, but.
Yeah, yeah. There are so many Atlas games on 3DS. Like, it's impossible. I think I would be a fan if I was like younger and like a shut-in virgin incel neat. Like, if I was like that, like I would love Persona. But like I'm not any of those things, so it's just okay to me.
Just more. I expect more from Atlas.
Yeah. They need to start making new announcements. Like they probably should have announced, I don't know, at least have an idea. When was the last time they even made a major announcement? Like they've been teasing Persona 5R. Like they made that really stupid announcement of an announcement that I like make fun of to this day. Like that is kind of annoying. Whatever. Just announce the game for Switch and we'll be set. For me. But I totally understand how you feel. Are you a fan of Shin Megami Tensei?
Yes, I love Shin Megami.
Yeah, I haven't gotten into it. Like my Shin Megami Tensei game, the one I started with was Tokyo Mirage Sessions on Wii U. So I'm kind of like in a weird position when it comes to these kind of games. I love Tokyo Mirage Sessions, and I liked when I played at Persona 4, but I just have not gotten to like the mainline games yet. Like I've been wanting to, but I'm just so busy.
Well, Shin Megami is it's like Pokemon.
Yeah, I know how it is. I own 4. I've owned 4 since before Tokyo Mirage Sessions even came out, but I just haven't really played all that much of it. I really liked what I played of it, but I just never really played it at all.
This is one thing I just want to say now.
Yeah.
Instead of Joker in Smash, there should have been a demi-theme, which is the main characters in Shin Megami.
Oh yeah.
That would have made more sense. But Persona 5 is newer, and they wouldn't have gotten as much buzz if they used that.
Yeah. Now Persona is way more mainstream than like Shin Megami Tensei. Like it's way more accessible. So like more people are aware of it. I think most people aren't even aware that like Persona started as a Shin Megami Tensei spin-off series. So yeah. All right, I think that's enough for that.
Wait, we forgot about Destroy All Humans and Darksiders.
Wait, what? Those weren't shown, right? Not in the Switch Direct. We're talking about the Nintendo showing right now. So we're on the Nintendo section. We'll talk about like other miscellaneous things at the end after we're through with this bit.
We also have to get to the big game that this thing was supposed to be about.
Oh, the big game. Yeah. This entire stream was supposed to be devoted to one game. But we spent an hour and a half talking about E3 because you asked to talk about E3. Like I actually wanted to specifically wanted you on to talk about the big game, but like we just
let's go through these other ones quickly then.
Yeah. Well, I still want to talk about these because I'm not sure how much there is to talk about when it comes to the big game, but we'll see. Let's get through. I mean, the big game is on this list, so we're getting there. So there's no reason to skip ahead. All right. So next up, we saw a trailer for The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, one of my personal all-time favorite games. So what did you think of Link's Awakening?
Link's Awakening is the weirdest Zelda game ever.
Really? More weird than Majora's Mask? Or Triforce Heroes?
Majora's Mask just makes you it's very unsettling.
Yeah. I'm not sure I would. Yeah. I would say Link's Awakening is the weirdest one. Zelda's weird as a whole, but Link's Awakening is just like the entire thing from start to finish is just like bizarre. Like going out rescuing dogs, chain chomps from like moblins and stuff like that. Like it just always throws this weird stuff at you, and it's just. There's this goat that pretends to be Princess Peach. Like she's catfishing some guy by pretending to be Princess Peach. That comes out of nowhere, and it's hilarious.
Like the entire time playing the game, there's something off about it.
Yeah, it's great. It has this really great dreamlike quality to it, which I absolutely love. It's a big reason as to why I love the game so much. The other reason being, of course, that the game itself is so great. Like the dungeons are like probably some of the best in the entire series, I would say. Combat's great. I love all the items. I love the boss fights. Like everything about the game is just stellar. And this remake is really starting to grow on me. Like I wasn't sure what to think of it when I first saw it. Like I wasn't sure whether I liked the art style. Now that I've seen more of it, I'm falling in love all over again. Like the art style adds to that dreamlike quality. It does look different than other Zelda games, and I appreciate it for that reason. And not only that, they're adding new content in. they are implementing this create a dungeon mechanic, which I am super hyped for, and am probably going to buy this remake for that alone.
You know what that is, right?
Zelda Maker?
Yes.
Yeah.
Zelda Maker.
Yeah, that I think is what Zelda Maker turned into, because they confirmed they were working on it. They were like experimenting with it. I think they're having problems really making a proper Zelda Maker, so they're just sort of starting small and like implementing it to other games, like sort of like what they did with Captain Toad, right? Where they just made it a mini game at first and then like expanded it into its own game. I think that's kind of what they have to do with Zelda Maker, because they're not really sure, what are they going to do? Are people going to be? Are they going to want to make an overworld? Are they just going to want to make dungeons? Like, I would be happy with this giving us a bunch of dungeons you can play around with, a bunch of like tools you can use, and a bunch of items you can hide in the dungeons, and then like just set you loose in them, like more like a Zelda dungeon maker than like an actual Zelda game maker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's a bit more intricate than a Mario Maker.
Yeah. It has to be more intricate. Yeah. So it like they didn't actually start Mario Maker from scratch. Are you aware of this? Like it started because the tools to make New Super Mario Bros. Were so easy to use that Nintendo realized that they could just make it even easier and then like sell it as like a level editor tool. So like the tools for that already existed. I think they have to make the Zelda Maker tools from scratch. So that's kind of why they're doing this with Link's Awakening, which I'm hyped for. I'm glad to see them doing this and like add substantial content in this game. But
and also the art style looks adorable.
Yeah. The art style is really growing on me. I'm really excited to see people start talking about this game again, because this is one of my all-time favorite games. One of my all-time favorite games. I love this game, and I'm really excited to see more younger people get into it. And this goes back into my point about Final Fantasy VII, right? Is that they did not need to substantially change Link's Awakening to sell it to a new audience. They just had to give it a fresh coat of paint, re-release it, add some new features, get people talking about it again. And that is why I think Link's Awakening is going to be Zelda has been doing remakes so much better than Final Fantasy VII, like Square Enix has. Majora's Mask 3D came out the year that Final Fantasy VII was announced. So it just Nintendo's showing up Square left and right.
Well, with the remake, they need to just temper they're being way too ambitious.
Yeah. They're trying to make it into a big AAA release, literally one of the biggest things they've ever done. Instead of just remaking Final Fantasy VII and moving on, that's why I'm so disappointed with Square. There is no Final Fantasy 16 in sight. Final Fantasy 15 just suddenly stopped development. They stopped working on DLC. They canceled a ton of DLC they had announced. I don't get why more people aren't talking about that. Square is in a disaster right now. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
This just popped in my head.
Yeah.
Remember that one scene where Cloud had the cross dress to go save his friend?
Yeah.
Would that be okay with modern audiences?
Yeah. That was the thing that everybody brought up when the game was first announced. It was a joke for a long time. And then Square confirmed that, yes, it is indeed coming back. So we are going to see it.
We had Link cross-dressing in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I don't think anybody cares. If anything, I think the SJWs really love that kind of thing. So I don't think they're going to get upset about it. Triforce Heroes had something similar too. So I don't think there's going to be a controversy around it. I could see there being controversy around the whole you're playing as a group of terrorists thing. That's what I'm more concerned about. There are a lot of things Final Fantasy VII that I think a lot of people would have issues with. There's a sequence where you can get Tifa to call Barret a retard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that would be that would not fly, I think. Some of the more politically incorrect things, I don't think the whole cross-dressing thing is going to go badly with anyone, because I I thought the whole processing thing in Breath of the Wild was hilarious. So I think it's going to fall under that sort of thing for most audiences. Is that like most people are just going to see the whole processing thing as a joke, like the way it was meant to be, and just roll with it. It's not going to erupt into a controversy, I think. That's assuming that Square doesn't like completely mess it up in some way. Isn't there a scene in Final Fantasy, the original Final Fantasy VII, where Cloud gets gang raped by a bunch of like gay bodybuilders in like a hot tub? Yeah, that I could see could be more controversial than the whole processing thing. Like again, Final Fantasy VII is like must be like the most politically incorrect game in existence because like I can think of like right off the top of my head like so many things that just would not fly today, and we'll just have to see what they do. Maybe they'll change some things, maybe they won't. People are going to be unhappy no matter what, which is the main reason why I think Final Fantasy VII is going to be Final Fantasy VII R is going to be such a disaster. Is that like nobody is happy with what they're doing. All right, is there anything else to talk about when it comes to Link's Awakening?
I think that's it.
They announced a release date, September 20th. I'm super hyped for that. Yeah, so that was the first time we heard the release date. Super hyped for that. Everyone, go out and buy Link's Awakening. One of my all-time favorite Zelda games. One of my all-time favorite games, period. I highly endorse it. Go out and buy it. Moving on to the next segment of their...
no, wait, I almost forgot something.
Yeah.
Right when I say that's it, something else pops in my head.
Yeah.
There's this awesome collector's edition in Europe.
Really?
Which I might import.
Oh,
yes.
Europe?
There's just...
oh, man. Really?
The Brick Bones are getting something cool.
What is it?
There's this steel book that looks just like a Game Boy.
Oh, really?
There's an art book as well.
An art book? Man, I would have won an art book. Like, I have Hyrule Historia. Yeah, I need to start getting those Zelda art books now. Like, I have a Final Fantasy one on my wish list, but yeah, Zelda is definitely on the list. I need to look at that stuff because that stuff is great. I love looking at the artistry for this stuff. I need to get into that one. Yeah. What? What were you saying?
Also, I want to say that I'm happy that a lot of people did not play this game at first.
Oh yeah.
Came out. I'm happy that people are gonna have another chance to play it now since it's in the spotlight.
Yeah. This is going to revitalize a classic, and a new generation of gamers is going to fall in love with it. For that reason alone, I'm super hyped for this game. Link's Awakening looks great. I'm really excited for this one. I hope a lot of people play and like it. I hope it's a huge hit. All right, moving on, unless there's something else you forgot.
No, that's really it. Now.
Okay, that's it. Okay, release date September 20th. Okay, they showed Trials of Mana again, coming early 2020. I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yes, Mana is great. They're finally getting 3 in the West.
Oh yeah. We got the collection already. Yeah, it released later that day, so it's already on the Switch shop. You can get it now.
I'm waiting for the physical version.
They're releasing a physical release?
Yeah, it's coming out a bit later. It's gonna be limited too.
Oh, okay, yeah. I should look into that. I definitely should look into that. All right, so yeah, because like it's like $40 on the Switch shop, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to pay $40 for like a download, because like usually when I do that, I regret it, because usually the games aren't that good. Like I bought like the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm collection for some reason for like $40, and like it was one of the worst games I ever played in my fucking life. Like I just like $40 is like too much for me. Like I would say like usually $30 is too much for me for an eShop purchase. So it's good to see, you know, them releasing physical copies of games as well. I think most core fans will continue to buy physical. Like mostly when I buy digital, it's like stuff that's only available digitally or stuff that's been I can't get a hold of this, or there's some reason I'm getting it physically, like a sale or something. Like I do prefer physical.
Yeah, like there are a bunch of games from when it run that I missed, so I have to get them digitally now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, so Mana, I'm super hyped for that, especially the collection. Really looking forward to getting that eventually once I catch up on all these other RPGs I have. I have a crazy amount of stuff. Trailer for The Witcher 3. Yeah, so The Witcher 3, one of the two or three PS4 exclusives that anybody cared about is coming, PS multi-plat exclusives that anyone cared about is indeed coming to Switch. So PS4 owners lose another game, essentially.
What are you talking about, Harmon? Switch can't run Witcher 3.
Yeah, Witcher 3 would never be announced for the Switch. That's just crazy talk. But yeah, seriously, this is the pattern we're seeing here. Is that like we see this big multi-plat game that has no reason to not come on Switch. The pretendos and the haters come out of the woodwork and insist that that game can't run on Switch, and then suddenly that game does come out on Switch. It happened with Doom. It happened with Mortal Kombat 11. It happened with like Doom Eternal for like, what was it, like 5 minutes before they confirmed a Switch version. And now it's happening again with Witcher 3. So now the narrative right now is that the game won't be worth playing because the graphics won't be as good. But I played Doom. I played Mortal Kombat 11. They were fine. They ran fine. Like any issues I had with those games were with the original release. So I'm sure The Witcher 3 will play and run fantastically on the Switch.
If people really wanted good graphics, you just get a gaming PC.
Yeah, I know. It's not an argument. It's not something you can even really say anymore. And yet you still have people desperately trying to downplay the Switch, who are like still trying to act like this announcement can be not used against the Switch. Like, you're getting you're getting a game that we got years ago. Well, you know what we got years ago that you will never get? Star Fox Zero, Tokyo Mirage Sessions, Devil's Third, Zelda Breath of the Wild, Zelda as a whole, like all these classic Nintendo games that are never coming to other platforms. Like now that multi-plat games are coming to Nintendo Switch like regularly, there is no reason to support or play other platforms at all. Like, I'm just waiting for Kingdom Hearts to finally make the jump to Nintendo consoles. Like, God Hand to make the jump to Nintendo. Like, there are so many games that need to be on Switch right now that have no reason to not be on Switch. And when they make the jump, like, people are going to support it. So I do think The Witcher 3 is going to be fairly successful on Switch. This is a game that sold like 20 million copies. So it's going to sell a fair amount on Switch, probably nowhere near that much. But like it's going to do well among people who like me, who like Dragon's Dogma, like Zelda, like these kind of open world fantasy games. Like people are going to play it, try it, and go back to Zelda after they're done. So that's how I feel about The Witcher 3.
Wait, someone asked how big is The Witcher 3?
I don't know.
They're putting it on a 32 gig card, or I think 34. Like I don't know when the 60 gig cards come out. So, with 60 gigs is more than a Blu-ray disc holds.
I don't think it matters how big the game. Like, if the game is good, but like people will buy and support it no matter how big it is. Like I think The Witcher 3.
When it comes to game sizes, it's mostly just uncompressed files.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons I don't take have you heard this real reality of the console war situation right now when it comes between like PlayStation 4 and Xbox One? Like you will have people on message boards argue with each other over file size differences between different multi-plat games. So like if a game has less files on the Xbox One version, that means that version will run slightly quicker. It just goes to show you like the current state of like the console war, where like people are like arguing over complete bullshit for like no reason, absolutely no reason at all. And that's like another. It's just ridiculous. Like I don't think there was nothing about Witcher 3 that was preventing it from getting a Wii U release back when it first came out. So I'm glad to see it come to Switch. I will be buying it. I will be trying it at least. I don't expect to like it. I expect to be really critical of it, if anything. What's your stance on Witcher 3? Are you going to support it? I know you played the first two.
Yeah, I didn't really get too far in the first two though.
Yeah. Because you didn't like them.
Well, it just didn't really grip me too much.
Yeah.
But I might give him another shot. It's just $5, so
yeah, it doesn't matter. Like I think a lot of those like 20 million are people like that who just like slap down like $20. Okay, I get to play The Witcher 3 for like an hour and then never touch it again. I don't know. Like I see a lot of that in like modern gamers these days. Like I guess it's a lot of that is because of like time and just the sheer amount of games. Like I myself have a lot of games that like I haven't played a lot of because like I just get distracted with like personal stuff and I just never get around to it. Like I have disposable income, like so I buy a game, whatever. It's not the big deal it used to be, is what I'm saying.
So I might give it a shot.
Yeah, maybe. I'm definitely planning on it because I don't like people saying that like I want to be able to argue with people who will tell you that The Witcher 3 is like one of the best games of all time and one of the best RPGs ever made because it clearly isn't. Just by like looking at it and like everything that game does, like if I played it, I would be annoyed. I'm sure. Like I want to talk about in depth about why I don't like The Witcher and why it couldn't compete with the Wii U back in the day.
Oh, and this also the Switcher 3 also proves that gaming hardware doesn't really matter anymore.
Oh yeah, it doesn't. That's what I was getting at with the whole file size thing. Like there is no real justification to not have these big multi-plat games on Switch because we're seeing some of the biggest games on Xbox One and PS4 get ported to the Switch with no problem. Like how many people were insisting that Doom would never come to Switch? Like it's becoming more and more obvious to everyone that there is nothing really holding back Switch versions of games from being made with like all of their content intact, with everything they have, being available on Nintendo platforms. It just that's the main reason I'm supporting The Witcher 3 and why I want to see more games like it. Like maybe eventually Cyberpunk 2077 will come to Switch. I don't know, but
like as long as the game is optimized properly, you can run on.
Yeah. As long as it's not broken, I think that's the most important thing. I don't think there's been a ton of Switch releases of multi-plats that have been broken. I think the WWE one was broken, but like nobody really cares about that.
But they even really try.
Yeah, it shows. Like I think they were trying to create this narrative that like the Switch would be hard to work for, but then like it fell flat on its face when like everything else was like doing so well. Like you can't say that the Switch can't handle open world games when its biggest release ever is an open world game. That's like significantly better than its competition. So yeah, I hope this narrative dies down as time goes on. And Witcher 3 is just another big example of that. Another example of just everything that's wrong with multi-plat gaming right now is that there is no reason for games like The Witcher 3, like Doom Eternal, like Mortal Kombat 11 to not come to Switch. So yeah, really looking forward to that for that reason. Yeah, they showed a trailer for Fire Emblem Three Houses. Now, I'm a huge Fire Emblem fan. I love this series. I love everything about it. I hate Fates. So looking at it from that perspective, like I'm kind of jaded by this release. Like it's doing some things that like I'm in like that skeptical mode. Like I'm worried that I'm going to be burned again, essentially. Like everything I've seen from Three Houses looks fantastic. But like I still feel the sting of Fire Emblem Fates. Like I still feel that game. Like that game very well may be one of the all-time worst Nintendo games I've ever played in my life. Like the absolute worst. I hate Fire Emblem Fates. So Three Houses, everything I've seen from it looks great. Like everything I've seen from it looks like it's going to be a fantastic game. Like this story trailer has gotten me excited about the story for the first time, which I haven't really seen a lot of information of. But generally speaking, I can't help but be a little worried because Fire on the Fates is a thing that happened.
With the new waifu emblem game, it's probably best to take a wait and see approach then. I just skipped Fates after I heard all the bad publicity you got.
Yeah. Fates. People should have boycotted Fates the instant they announced the Pokemon style approach of like having different versions. Like that, in and of itself, like ruined the entire thing. Like that is the worst thing I think Nintendo has ever done. Like as a creative vision, that was terrible. Hated that. Three Houses doesn't seem to be doing that, so that's a good thing. But I just Fates was so bad. So bad. And I've played it recently too. I still hate everything about that game. I get so angry just thinking about it. Three Houses.
You played it again?
Oh, what?
You played it again?
Yeah. Okay. So to recap.
To yourself.
Okay. There's a reason for that. I played Fire Emblem Birthright first. Like I played that through to the end, and realized that this is the worst game I think I've ever played in my life. So I dropped the game for years, never returned to it, never played the other paths, never did anything else in that game. And then this year, I came back and was like, okay, Three Houses is coming out. I need to get this done. I want to experience Fire Emblem Fates. I want to play the superior conquest mode. I want to experience everything that Fates has to offer. I played it again, bought the DLC, played the conquest route, and it was worse than I remember. It was so bad. I could not believe what I was experiencing with this one. Like, it was just, people talk, right, about how bad Fates is. But like, one of the things they always say is that like Conquest is the best route because the gameplay is better. That isn't true. Like, okay, it is not significantly better than Birthright. It is just the same shit with the same bullshit going, with like different bullshit going on behind the scenes, with like these ridiculous plot elements. I cannot, like, it's a chapter from chapter basis. Like any other RPG, like there may be like maybe one sequence that like ruins the entire thing and then it goes downhill. Fire Emblem Fates does this bizarre thing where every single story segment has like something wrong with it. Like every single thing is just like infuriating, just bizarre. I cannot even fathom how they came up with some of the ideas for this. Like why they like thought this would work. It's just so bad. Oh, are you still there? Are you still listening?
I'm still here.
Yeah. I was just rambling.
Well, with Three Houses, it looks like when they show that the school segment isn't the entire game.
Yeah. That's the thing that I took away from this trailer. Like you are essentially, what seems to be happening is that you have the school segment, you get to know the characters, and then like you break off into your different factions, and then they go to war to each other for some reason. That's the impression I get. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I think that's a general idea of what happened. So that to me is very, very exciting and very, very interesting. It feels like this is what Fate should have done with its three paths, where it feels like you're going to form alliances, you're going to establish your team, you're going to like set the stage for the conflict that's coming, and you're going to be involved with it, like personally.
Oh yeah, Fates kept nudging you towards the one side too.
Oh yeah. I should have touched on that.
Neutral, but
yeah. Fates wants you to side with like. There is no reason to support Nor, like at all. Nor is like pure evil, and yet somehow you're expected to like have this moral dilemma over like which side you're supposed to be with. Like, no, it just does not work. Three Houses seems to be doing that a lot better from what we've seen. I don't like the voice acting. I think there's this weird pattern with Fire Emblem games where like the games seem to go between like having good voice acting to bad voice acting. Like Awakening was good, Fates was terrible, Shadows of Valentia was good, and now like Three Houses, from what I've seen, doesn't seem all that great either. But like the story itself seems fine. So we're gonna have to see what happens with that game in July.
That's why I hope this game has dual audio, so you can switch to Japanese voices.
Oh yeah. Maybe have the previous games done that? I think Awakening did.
If I'm remembering correctly, I think so.
Yeah, I personally do not use English version. I personally do not use Japanese voices for anything. I think the only time I've ever changed the voice setting for anything ever was in Pokken Tournament, so I wouldn't have to listen to Nia's whining. Have you played Pokken? You know what I'm talking about?
That's a game I never got around to getting.
Yeah. So Pokken has this like girl who like explains the mechanics of the game to you, who like tells you, who like gives you advice and stuff like that on like stuff you can do in battles. And like she is the absolute most annoying piece of shit I've ever seen in my life. Like I cannot listen to that girl. I just cannot listen. Like if she was real, I would just be like, go away. I don't want to hear your voice. Like you need to stop talking. But yeah, the best I can do in like, well, this is probably the better option, I guess. So nobody else has to listen to her either. Like the best thing you can do, the thing you can do in Pokken Tournament is that you can change it to Japanese, change her voice to Japanese, so you don't have to listen to her. So that's what I did immediately. Is that I adjusted the voice for that character because she was just so annoying. Hated her.
I'll tolerate an English dub as long as it's good, but
yeah. I love English dubs when they're good, but there are just so many times that they're not. Like especially nowadays with like the localizers fucking with the the social justice aspect, like shoving it in
Funimation.
Yeah, Funimation. People are getting fired because of like the social justice culture there right now. Like the whole Vic thing. There was no way. Like the social justice community did not have a hand in that. Like no way.
I don't want to get too far off topic.
Oh yeah. I just wanted to like talk about give an example of what I was talking about. But yeah. Dubs are kind of becoming an issue. We do need to seriously talk about like in the community, like we need to figure out a way to like sort of control this sort of thing, or at least get these people fired, or like have some sort of like control over them. That's my opinion.
Anime gate incoming.
Anime gate, yeah. Anime gate, I think, is the next major entertainment gate situation. The whole Vic thing is kind of becoming this huge fiasco. I expect it to be a huge deal. Bigger as it goes on. This is very interesting. I don't think we've talked about this at all. I haven't with you. I don't think is what I mean to say.
No, we haven't.
No, we haven't. So yeah.
But I want to say that the new Fire Emblem, I like that it's not all in the school.
Yeah.
Like you actually have like the way the house you side with. Like you actually have some personal stake in the game, which I like.
Yeah. Fire Emblem is really good at that. I'm really interested in seeing what they do with this one. I'm relatively unspoiled. I don't know a lot of the details. I actually don't even really know who all the characters are just yet. I just know the general idea that you're a teacher who's going to the school, and then like shit goes down, and that's kind of interesting. I think this can kind of get people who are interested in like the persona socialization aspect to like get involved and like want to play it for the school segment, but then like stick around for like the rest of the game and like be involved in the story where like it devolves into wartime shenanigans and like you're fighting among each other, and it's cool. Like it looks like it's going to be great.
Okay, we got 2 questions in chat.
Yeah.
One's asking us about gameplay of Darksiders Genesis, and one guy's asking if we talked about Pokemon Sword and Shield.
I think Pokemon Sword and Shield is later on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll talk about Oh, maybe it's not on my list because I guess we could talk about it. Yeah, I don't think it's on my list because like it already had that direct. We already talked about Pokemon Sword and Shield, didn't we? To a certain extent. Like I made a reaction stream to it. Okay, quick impressions. I'm really excited. I think the game looks great. I think the new features look amazing. The locations look great. The new mechanics. I like a lot of the new Pokemon. Like I think this might be my favorite generation of new Pokemon since like Gen 5. You know, because like I just love the Pokemon designs that much. What do you think about Pokemon Sword and Shield?
I haven't played Pokemon since X and Y.
Oh, really?
So
that's a terrible way to leave off. X and Y are the worst.
Yeah, that's what I've heard a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm giving this game a chance too.
Yeah.
Playing with Pokemon Sword. So I want the doggo with the sword in his mouth.
Oh, the Sith Wolf. Yeah. I'm getting it after that too. that wolf looks so cool. Like I'm worried that like most people are going to buy that because of the sword. Like the Shield one doesn't look nearly as cool.
Yeah, it's red and blue again.
Yeah.
Like everyone just buys red for the dragon.
But you don't get Charizard on red. You don't necessarily get Charizard on red though. I actually prefer Blastoise. It's really weird. Like I grew up with Pokemon Red, but I prefer Blastoise. I don't know. Like maybe I had a messed up childhood because like maybe I was meant to play Pokemon Blue, even though that was the one I did not play. I vastly prefer.
Also, during the when they showed off this new water champion. The water gym leader.
Oh yeah.
You know how they streamed the direct inside the Nintendo World Store?
Yeah.
This one guy yelled, "Rule 34, do your thing."
Not surprised. Not surprised at all. Nessa is like really, really popular. Like if you go on Twitter right now and type in Pokemon, you will see nothing but fan art of Nessa, and that goes into what another social justice related thing. Nintendo seems to be making all of these really great black characters, and then like aren't really necessarily being acknowledged for it at all outside of like the Nintendo fan base, and that's just kind of ridiculous. Like people legitimately love Marina. She thinks she's great. Nessa looks cool. Twin Tail was one of the most popular characters in ARMS. Oh shit! Damn. Is the tournament still going on? I completely forgot that like ARMS has its final tournament today. Ninjara versus Min Min. Like I needed to play that. Shit.
There's also a Splatfest going on too.
Oh, is there really? Yeah. I wanted to play ARMS specifically because I needed to be Team Min Min. I needed to support Min Min. I hope it's still going on.
Great.
Yeah. I'll be playing that once we go off for sure. Definitely.
Min girl is best girl.
Min Min?
Yes.
Yeah. You agree with me? Oh yeah. Finally, like so many people have like terrible taste and like say someone else's best girl, but no, Min Min is the best. Like so great. I love Min Min. She is my main. Do you main her as well?
I'm kind of vanilla. I like Springman.
Yeah, Springman. Yeah, I could see that. Like I like Springman. I mostly. I like all the characters of ARMS. I think there are no bad characters in ARMS. They all have their own unique gimmicks. They all have their own personalities. They have like crazy backgrounds. I think it's one of the things that ARMS is not getting enough credit for is that like it put a lot of work into like the backgrounds of each character, like far more in-depth and interesting than Street Fighter does, despite having like way less spin-off material.
But I also like Ninjara too.
Oh yeah, Ninjara. I can't really say anything nice about Ninjara because like I'm Team Min Min right now, but yeah, I like Ninjara.
Oh, and also I want to say something about Darksiders Genesis because someone asked.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I was into those old school PC games. I was not into Diablo. I was more into Quake and Doom. So I'm not too interested in Genesis. So that's for
Wait, what is Darksiders Genesis? I never even heard of that.
It's like a top-down game, like Diablo.
Oh, so it's like a Diablo version of like Darksiders, like a spinoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Darksiders 3 just came out. Like I was gonna say, like they're making another Darksiders already. Like Darksiders 3 didn't do very well, did it? I just
I don't know how well it was. I mean, how well it did.
I don't think it did very well at all. Like plenty of people were shilling it. Like Angry Joe was like paid by THQ Nordic to like promote it on stream, even though he had like no interest in it. That happens a lot with these YouTubers, by the way. Never, ever trust a YouTuber like shilling a product that's never mentioned before or after. But yeah, Darksiders. I would want that to come to Switch. I have no reason not to have Darksiders 3 to come to Switch because I reasonably like the first two. Now I draw the line where people will try to pretend that like Darksiders is like better than Zelda. Because there are people who will like tell you that, but that's ridiculous.
Different types of games.
Yeah, well, they're similar enough where people will like sort of use Darksiders to like say that like, oh, this is better than Zelda. This is why I can't be excited for the new Zelda game. You know what it is? You know how it is, right?
Yeah, like we'll say that about Uncharted and Skyward Sword.
Yeah, like Dark Souls and Skyward Sword, I think got that a lot. I think Skyrim and Skyward Sword. What? There are lots of examples of this.
We're getting to know it. We're getting to.
Oh yeah. The entire reason this live stream exists and why I have my guest on here tonight is because of No More Heroes 3. So we're definitely going to talk about that when we get to it.
Okay, so what's next?
Resident Evil, pointless Resident Evil trailer where they announced that more ports of games are coming. Ooh, we're getting 5 and 6 as well. I never played 6, but I hate 5. I just straight up hate it. Like I played it with my brother. We played through the entire thing up to the very end, and I just stopped at the end. Like I was just like, okay, we just can't do this. This game is not good. So yeah, not a fan of 5. I've never played 6. 6, I'm probably gonna pick up. But like my thing with this trailer is that like it's completely pointless. Like, why did it exist? Why could you not have just said that, like, yeah, Resident Evil 5 and 6 are coming up. Please buy them. Here's our next thing. No, just this elaborate trailer for nothing, really.
If you ask me, I was a huge Capcom fanboy back in their golden age.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can see why Capcom was making
PS2 era. If you ask me, Resident Evil pretty much died after 4.
Yeah,
came back a little bit with Revelations. So.
I don't even like Revelations. Like so many people said that game is good. I played it on Wii U. I don't care for it. Like it is not half the game that 4 is.
And it's better than the ones that came out before, like 5 and 6.
I think it's better than 5. Again, I haven't played 6, but I don't know. Like Revelations 2 is like straight up garbage. Like that game is so bad. I hated it.
But Capcom being lazy, I wouldn't be surprised if they just didn't put motion controls in this game either. And they didn't do with 4.
Did they really? Oh yeah, they did. There was a controversy about that. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that was another reason I wasn't excited for this trailer. Capcom has been overpricing all of their ports, except for like Onimusha for some reason. Like Resident Evil, like all the Resident Evil games that are on there right now are like $30. Like games you can buy like for a third of that price on like other platforms. They want you to pay like $30 for Resident Evil 4. I paid less money for that. My Wii version of that game like 10 years ago. Hang on, I think I have it here. Check out how much I paid for this game like 10 years ago. Can you see that? $12, 13. I paid $13 for Resident Evil 4 10 years ago. And they want me to pay like $30 for a Switch version? Like, I love this game, but man, it's so bad. It's so bad.
It's really just Capcom being Capcom.
Yeah, Capcom being Capcom. And Devil May Cry, too. They took the HD version of Devil May Cry, split it from the other 2 games in the series, and then like sold it at its own thing. Why? Why not just release the HD collection?
Capcom needs some new management.
Yeah, definitely. They need to give the Switch proper support. I have no idea what they're doing over there. Like, I just
I
don't.
remember when people call this stuff out, but
Yeah, we just get called fanboys. Yeah.
So used to it.
Yeah, everybody's just used to it. Like, this is the way Nintendo's always been treated by third parties. Like, look at the Capcom 5. This is something that's been happening for years, where Capcom makes these promises and then, like, doesn't really deliver on them. Like, you know, like how Resident Evil 4 was supposed to be GameCube exclusive. And then they suddenly went and ported it to, like, every single console imaginable. Like, they ported that thing to the fucking Zeebo. Like, I don't know if you know what the Zeebo version looks like, but, like, they did it. They put that game on a Zeebo. And yet somehow they're not willing to put the work into putting, you know, other Resident Evil games on the Switch with, like, all the features we want. I just, at a reasonable price, like, I just don't get it.
Like, Capcom has some of the best IPs of all time, like Okami, Beautiful Joe.
I'm not a fan of Okami, but I love the original Beautiful Joe. Yeah.
But I just wish, like, I just don't trust Capcom anymore.
Yeah, I don't. They keep making all these terrible decisions. I don't think Devil May Cry 5 was as good as people said it was. I don't think Monster Hunter World should have been multi-plat. I think it should have been a Switch exclusive. I think what else even is there?
Monster Hunter World is the Pokemon Go of Monster Hunter.
Is it really? Is it really that bad?
Well, it's maybe that might be a little harsh, but it is the casualized version.
Yeah, I know it's casualized. Like, the issue is, like, how much is it casualized? Like, is it like a Persona kind of casualized, or is it like, you know, a mobile game kind of guy? Like, I don't.
Well, it's not as bad as a mobile game.
Yeah. That's all I had to say about Capcom. Like, they need to have more games for Switch. I don't know what they're doing. Like, where are all the announcements? Like, well, I guess this is their big announcement for this year. Resident Evil 5. Like, I technically was asking for these games to be ported, so I guess I can't be too upset about that. Like, other than 2 and 3, I think all of the mainline Resident Evil games are on Switch right now.
Like, Capcom is sitting on the gold mine right now from all those amazing games that came out in the past.
Yeah. Right now, like, they're in the position like Square is in, where they have to release old material to keep people interested. Like, that's what Resident Evil 2 remake was. Like, it was just Resident Evil 2, but, like, with modern visuals. It was better than Final Fantasy 7 are, by the way. That game came out way quick. Now, just compare the two. Just unbelievable. But they can't really make a good original Resident Evil game anymore. They just can't. Like, 7, I'm sure wasn't as good as people made it out to be. I haven't played that one yet. Have you?
I've been done with Capcom for a while, so I really haven't been interested in any new games.
Yeah. I agree. Like, they need to do a lot to, like, really get people's trust back. Like I don't think we'll have to see what they do next year. Do they even have a show? Do they ever have shows? I don't know what they announced this year. I don't think they made any announcements.
No, I don't think so.
Weird. It's weird that nobody brought that up. But anyway.
Wait, I agree, Hizam. Darksiders is people should not be comparing Darksiders to Zelda. They're completely different.
Yeah, I agree. But, like, back in the day, I saw a lot of comparisons between the two, so that's why I bring it up. It's not me making that comparison. I'm just responding to it.
People were comparing, like, God of War 3 to Zelda as well.
Oh yeah, really? Yeah. That was before I was really paying attention to this stuff, because I don't really know what the whole God of War cycle was like. I knew it blew up. I knew it, like, had a decline, and now, like, with the reboot, people are, like, pretending it's, like, the best thing ever when it isn't. But, like, I haven't played the game all the games myself yet, so I don't really have an opinion.
So that's pretty much everything on.
Yeah, we ranted about a pointless trailer for way too long. Ready to talk about the thing we wanted to talk about since the beginning?
When I seen this trailer, I heard the voice, but it didn't register yet.
Yeah, because, like, he wasn't wearing the glasses. He was, like, I didn't like register it. Like that trailer was actually cut for the direct. Were you aware that there was an extended cut of it?
Yeah, there was a when the Grasshopper released on their YouTube channel.
Yeah. They released an extended cut of that trailer. If I saw that, I would have recognized what it was right away. But like because of the way it was cut, it took me a while to really understand what it was. Like I thought it was like something else. Like I thought it was like supposed to be. No, what did I think? I wish I did my. What did I think of it? Like I wasn't sure what to think of it. Like I thought maybe not Daemon X Machina. I think I didn't know what it was at first, but like then I heard the voice, and then like what happened? I definitely knew what it was by the time he took off the armor, and like it all made sense, right?
He had normal hair.
Yeah. He had a weird haircut. Like he didn't look like himself. Like it just took me a while to really place it, you know. But yeah. Oh, what?
But then he goes Henshin.
Henshin.
And it goes on this Kamen Rider armor suit.
Yep. So hype worthy. Like it was so good. And then like I think I was hyped before I really realized what it was. And then like he flies up, fights these aliens, and then like gives this narration about like what he's doing, what he's fighting, like fighting some aliens, like we spoke of after the Travis Strikes Again thing, right? Where we were talking about I think everything we predicted was going to happen happened. Like it happened at E3. Travis is back. It's a proper No More Heroes sequel. Meaning not like Travis, not that Travis Strikes Again is bad by any stretch of imagination. Everyone who played Travis Strikes Again should be aware of what's happening here. Aliens are attacking the Earth, and Travis is the only person who can stop them. Like the only thing that really stuck out to me about the trailer, the only thing I think we were somewhat wrong about is that like we thought it would be like an Avengers type style crossover where like everyone would like team up to fight the aliens, but like Travis seems to be by himself.
Well, but all those Grasshopper characters was probably just because it was the 20th anniversary for the company.
Yeah.
So but I think like Henry's coming back, Shinobu, Badman, and Badgirl maybe.
Maybe. I just find it weird that they would like hype up the Killer 7 in Travis Strikes Again and then not like have them, you know, have any role in No More Heroes 3 at all, you know? Like I think what's going to happen is that like we're going to get more trailers where we get like see more characters join Travis and become playable as like the game goes on. Like they'll have their own boss fights and stuff like that. That's my idea of what's happening here.
But Killer 7 still want Travis dead. Like, and Birkin or Badman, who's supposed to kill him, didn't do his job.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to see how that develops. I think it's going to be implemented into the plot in some way. It's going to be addressed, I think. Like, we'll have to see. Like, there's still so much stuff that's up in the air. Like, we didn't even see Sylvia's face in this trailer. We still have no idea what she looks like. So, we're going to have to see what happens.
And also, that mech suit, they had a No More Heroes 2, Travis had this massive mech.
Oh, yeah. It did look the same, didn't it? I didn't even think about that. Yeah. It was the Gastonberry Mark II, I think he calls it.
Yeah. I hope we get to use it in some way, because that just looks so cool.
Yeah. Naomi made it for him. I remember that. Like, he says she made it. Yeah, I remember. Whew. Let's see. It's a short trailer, so there's not a lot to talk about.
Yeah. You know what? It's like that one trailer for the first No More Heroes.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to bring that up. Yeah, it's exactly like the opening of the original game. Like, Travis comes down the same way. Like, he destroys some things. He cuts down the door in the same way. He leaves his apartment. I guess it seemed like he doesn't have the motorcycle in this one. So I think this might be implying that the mech suit might be his new vehicle or something. Like how you get around, like you can fly in this game. Maybe.
You know that one movie? Akira?
I've never seen it, but I know what it is. Yeah.
Have you seen those posters of that guy walking to his motorcycle?
Yeah, I've seen it.
There's one on the Grasshopper's Twitter, or I think it's Suda's Twitter.
Oh, really?
Where it's Travis walking towards his motorcycle.
Oh, that's great.
I think the bike's coming back.
That's great. Yeah, this entire thing had so many references to all this other stuff. Is the Empire striking back or what? It's great. I love it. Love it. Yeah.
And also,
I don't. Oh, sorry.
There's one guy from The Escapist. He interviewed Suda, and he asked Suda about the open world. And Suda said that what open world was back then, when the first No More Heroes came out, like this is me summarizing what he said. We said like the standards of when open world has changed.
Yeah.
So we're not saying like we're gonna get like Breath of the Wild, No More Heroes, but
I don't think Suda has the budget for that, but I think it is going to be different.
It's going to be more like the first game.
Yeah, hopefully, like having an open world and like doing stuff that might be interesting. Like the original is kind of weird in that respect, where the open world isn't supposed to be fun, but I still really enjoy it. It has a lot of personality. We'll have to see. Because like No More Heroes 2 was supposed to have it too, but they cut it for time constraints, I think.
I think they cut it because they actually got a lot of complaints about it.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll have to see. Like I don't think we know anything about the gameplay at this point in time. I think it's mostly the story stuff we're clear on. It's Travis fighting aliens who want to destroy the world.
Well, there's a general sense of the gameplay too. At that teaser at the end of Travis Strikes Again.
Yeah, it's gonna be like the first. It's gonna be like the first two.
Yeah, but it's more fluid. It's kind of like Killer is Dead a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna be improved. It's been like the second one came out in like what 2010, so it's been like 10 years. Of course, they're gonna have like a lot of improvements. There were a lot of improvements in like the animations just by going from like the first to second game. I can't imagine what like the gap in quality is going to be like going to this one.
Oh, Tom again said he had to leave. He has to get some sleep.
Yep. Bye. We've been going for a while.
One guy, Jay Carmen, just said he thinks some of the characters from TSA might make an appearance, like Damon Recatello, or how you pronounce that name.
The scarf guy? Yeah. I think that guy is going to come back. I think Shinobu's going to come back. I think Henry's definitely going to come back. Bad Girl and Badman may or may not come back. Like I don't know. Like I got the impression Badman's going to come back, but then like his final segment has him going like, okay, I guess it's time to fuck off. So I guess he's not coming back. I would like Bad Girl to come back and be playable, but I don't know if that's likely or not.
But Damon. He was that one stand-in for EA.
That guy?
Yeah.
That guy? Oh, yeah.
After Travis is beaten to a pulp, the guy wanted revenge. So what if he's working against Travis somehow?
What is he going to do? Like buy Grasshopper and make them make games they went to make? That would be great. Yeah. So Suda is officially the most base game developer out there. No other game in history has come out, put EA into their games, and have the main character beat the shit out of the executive of EA. It's just that deserves a round of applause. Press like A for applause. That needs to be praised more. That was great. Fuck EA, but. Yeah, so this trailer, it's everything I expected to see, but that's kind of all I needed to see. Like, we're going to get more information in the coming months, I'm sure. Like, hopefully we'll get another expanded trailer by the end of the year. Hopefully this game has been in development for a while, and we see more going into 2020. I hope it's not delayed. I hope it doesn't get delayed, but I don't think it will. I'm sure it's well into development at this point.
Well, it said, I don't think it takes too long to make a No More Heroes game.
Yeah. I think they just needed a budget. Like,
So,
I think this game could have been being worked on while Travis Strikes Again was being worked on. And like Travis Strikes Again just existed to like promote this game. I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, it might be longer than the other games. It might have more stuff going on. We'll have to see. We have to learn more at this stage. But yeah, I am definitely very hyped. One of the big announcements of the show, I would say. Do you feel the same way?
Definitely.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm so hyped. So hyped. Travis Strikes Again. What?
You know how Killer 7 had this like galactic feel? Like the world is like the story is much bigger than it actually. No, like the story is much bigger than just like what's going on.
Oh yeah. I know what you mean. Yep.
I think this game's gonna be like that too.
Really? Even though he's fighting aliens?
Yeah.
Okay.
After that teaser in Travis Strikes Back, there's like so much going on here. There's like these two aliens. There's these there's this one guy who's this one hero. He's trying to fight a villain. Everyone's coming in. It's like a battle royale.
Oh yeah. So I think there's going to be a lot of aspects to it, to No More Heroes 3 that are different than the older one. So we're going to have to see just what that's going to evolve into. It's going to be different than the original, which I'm very, very excited about. Travis has gone through some great character development, evolved a lot over the years. I'm really interested in seeing just where his character goes from here.
And Travis is like pushing 40 now.
Yeah. He might be 40 by the time that like No More Heroes 3 comes out, because like he was 37 in Travis Strikes Again. So if it takes place 3 years after the original, after that, he's going to be like pushing 40. Yeah.
He's no longer that one like late 20s otaku that we all love.
Yeah, he has a wife and kids now, assuming she hasn't left him.
Well, he left her.
Oh yeah.
He left his wife and kids to go play video games.
Travis living the dream. Yeah, I think we'll have to see. Yeah. Sylvia was in this trailer too, and like she seems the same as ever. I think they changed her voice actress again, which is kind of disappointing. Because I keep getting attached to like her other voice, like her original voice, or which one is better? I honestly can't remember. I think they've changed it before. I need to play the games again because I can't remember which one I prefer, but I prefer one of them over the other. And this one seems like another downgrade. I don't know. She still has the accent, but like you can kind of tell it's a different person doing the voice, and that's kind of disappointing. But whatever.
And so what comes after the big game?
After No More Heroes 3? Is there anything else you want to talk about? I think that's all. I can't think of anything in it.
I think we covered everything.
Yeah, okay. No More Heroes 3, really looking forward to it. The next game.
This is Suda's grand return.
Yep, this is Suda's grand return. I'm really hyped for it. I'm really interested in seeing just where this thing evolves into. Really, really hyped. Everything about it looks spectacular. Love it. So yeah, what about this next game? Contra Rogue Core.
I am very unsure about this game.
Yeah, I am too. Like a lot of people are attacking it because it looks budget, but I don't know. Like Super Bomberman R had that same sort of budget aspect to it. Like maybe this is what Konami needs. They need to step back, strip back their budgets, make like basic games again. Like apparently they got like the people who've actually worked on Contra on this. It's not like a new team or anything. So maybe this could be better than it looks. I don't know. Like I think I'm gonna have to see more. Like we'll have to see more from this and see just what this how this turns out, because I think it could be good, but I'm leaning towards no at this stage, I should say. That's mostly because of Konami, but we'll have to see.
One of the complaints that I don't really get is the ridiculous characters.
Oh yeah,
like the panda.
Yeah, the panda.
Like Contra itself is ridiculous. Like Contra 3, like one of the best ones, you're holding onto missiles.
Oh yeah. That's so great. I love that so much. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. Uncharted wishes it could be that cool. But yeah, I can sort of see the complaints. Like the panda is just ridiculous, while like everything else is like badass. So I think that's where the complaints are coming from. Like I don't hate the panda, but I can sort of see why people have issues with it.
I understand why, but
yeah,
like all of it's always been ridiculous.
Yeah. We'll have to see how it turns out. It may be good, it may be bad. We'll have to see. Daemon X Machina gets a release date, September 13th.
Yes.
Yes, so I'm really somewhat looking forward to that game. It felt like a good action game to me. I played the demo a couple of times. I enjoyed it quite a lot. They took fan feedback pretty seriously. I think they're adding competitive play, like when it wasn't part of the base game initially.
Yeah, they gave me co-op, not co-op.
Yeah, co-op was part of it from the beginning. Co-op, competitive.
Yes, co-op is in the game.
So they're adding more stuff to it, and I was sold on it from the demo. So the only interesting thing I saw here was just like, well, for one thing, this game looks cool as shit, like with all the giant robots and stuff like that, like all the things you fight. And two, we actually get a release date, September. September is so loaded. Just unbelievable. Like we're getting like what, Link's Awakening a week after that. I think Dragon Quest 11 is coming out that month too. Going to be insane. Like almost as bad as April. Well, April was pretty bad for me. There's going to be so many games to play. I have no idea. I'm going to keep track of them all.
I love Armored Core.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah. I tried to play the original, but I couldn't get into it.
I don't. Yeah, it's pretty niche.
Yeah.
But there's something just about giant mecha that's just so cool.
Yeah, I'm not a mecha fan in general, so this is kind of out of my element. So I'll just be judging it as an action game probably. But we'll have to see how it turns out when it launches. Is this something you're really looking forward to?
I have high hopes for this game.
Yeah, high hopes. Yeah, I am just.
No, continue.
I am just like mildly hyped for it. Like I am going to buy it, but I'm not sure if I'm going to like be super into it yet. What were you saying?
The people who are working on this game are some former Armored Core developers.
Mm-hmm.
The people who are working on this game worked on Armored Core before.
Yeah, I knew that.
So that's why I have high hopes for this game. Also, taking a fan feedback, which I hope will make this game, help iron out this game before release. Because we don't get a lot of mecha games.
Yeah.
I think it's just the coolest thing ever, just being in a giant mech, shooting stuff.
Yeah. So, it should be a much bigger deal than it is. Like, why aren't more Gundam fans getting like, well, this is awesome?
I hope it comes out. I hope it's great. I hope it is a success too.
Yeah.
So we see more stuff like it.
Yeah. Definitely. I definitely want more variety in the Switch library. Like, if anything, I want more games that I'm not interested in to come to Switch because like it gets more people on the platform and it gets it's good for Nintendo. So that is a good thing overall. Let's see. Panzer Dragoon is getting ported, remastered, or something coming later this year. Do you know anything about Panzer Dragoon?
Panzer Dragoon is an absolute classic.
Really?
I hope they don't treat it like they treat Star Fox.
Yeah. I am really excited about playing this because I've heard nothing but good things. It's like I've heard it's like the Sega equivalent of Star Fox with like a dragon. Isn't it like post-apocalyptic or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're.
No, wait, were you saying something?
I was just gonna ask what it was like.
Well, Panzer is pretty much like Star Fox. It's the same type of game, on-rail shooting.
Yeah, I love this kind of thing.
That's why I think that I hope it doesn't get like the Star Fox treatment that every Star Fox game gets.
What do you mean?
Like when people they clamor for it forever.
Oh
it
yeah.
comes out, then they hate it.
Yeah, yeah. That is the worst. I hate that. I don't think Panzer Dragoon has had quite the backlash that Star Fox has had. I don't think it has like the Pretendos. Essentially, I think is what like really kills Star Fox. Like every time it gets a new game, Zero especially. I could see Panzer Dragoon doing well. You know, like I'm certainly going to buy it.
I'm just shocked that like this is the game that's being revived that was rumored that Nintendo was reviving.
Is it an exclusive? I don't think it is. I thought it was coming to something else. No, I think it is an exclusive.
Like Panzer Dragoon was the definition of dead.
Yeah, like it's been like what, like 16 years since the last one, and this is like This is like some huge Sega cult classic. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in buying this. It wasn't like the one I was most looking forward to. Like for me personally, I've been wanting to play Sakura Wars, but yeah, Panzer Dragoon. That's definitely something I'm going to get since it's like actually coming out. Definitely angry about that. I'm definitely happy about that. I'm not going to sit here and say like, why didn't they release Sakura Wars? I wanted to play Sakura Wars, but now I'll play Panzer Dragoon. I'm super hyped for it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too.
Mm-hmm. All right. They didn't show a lot. I think it's just a remaster, but all right. Astral Chain. What did you think about Astral Chain?
All day.
All day, yeah. All day. Man, we're talking about everything else all day, but we'll talk about Astral Chain instead. Now, Astral Chain is like one of the most overlooked games of E3 2019, and I'm not sure why. Like, I'm not seeing it being put on like a lot of best ever lists or best of E3 lists. Like, everybody's ignoring it, and I'm not sure why, considering how good it looks. Like, not just as like a Nintendo exclusive, but like compared to everything else shown in general, it looks like this phenomenal action game with this unique gimmick, the cyberpunk setting. It just looks fantastic all around.
In this game, there are 5 legions you can summon, and your baton transforms into.
So what does that mean, like in gameplay terms? So like you have 5 different movesets or what?
Well, your baton also transforms into 3 different weapons.
Okay.
So that's 15 combinations, 15 different combinations you can use to fight your enemies.
Yeah, that's going to be complex. Like, can you do it on the fly? Can you switch weapons as you go?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be big. This is going to be like a really technical game, I think. Really looking forward to it. It reminds me a lot of like the Wonderful 101 with like the chain and just so hyped for it.
Yes, because you can summon one legion, unchain it. That legion will start fighting, and summon another legion as well.
This game is going to be phenomenal. I am so hyped for it. It looks amazing. Everything about it looks spectacular. I'm fully expecting it to be like the best game of 2019 at this stage. Like there is nothing that I think is going to match it, like in originality or creativity or just what I just genuinely like.
This game is like everything Platinum has done combined into one.
Oh yeah. It has like Platinum vibes to it with like the falling, the Metal Gear Rising falling debris, that sort of thing. It has like the robots, like it has like the animal robots. It has like the action of Bayonetta. The chain, like all of it, like is so unique and so fresh. And it disappoints me so much that more people are talking about shit like Death Stranding over this. I'm just so frustrated.
But I think that the Platinum audience is going to latch onto this game, and people are going to know more about it after it comes out.
Yeah.
Word of it is going to spread. I think it's going to have a very dedicated fan base to it.
Yeah, I think so too. I am definitely going to be talking about this game extensively after it comes out, and maybe even as it before it comes out, like talking about everything it's doing and like its creators and like how this is a new Nintendo IP. Like Nintendo does own the IP, just like they own the Wonderful 101. Everybody talks about how good Platinum is, how great developers they are, but then like they always ignore their best Nintendo exclusive games. You know, the Wonderful 101 still kind of gets shafted when it comes to like, you know, this being one of the best games of the decade. People still don't really want to talk about that very much.
Wonderful 101 is fantastic.
Yeah,
and incredibly deep as well.
Amazing game, like, you know, all-time best. I am so angry that Scalebound got canceled, but I'm also happy to see that like Astral Chain is like, you know, Platinum is finding their footing. Like they know where their audience is, and like they're making great games, and that's really all that matters. And I'm super excited about seeing not only what they do with Astral Chain, but what they do with like Bayonetta 3 and beyond.
Yes, I want to see something like this in Bayonetta, where you can summon your Infernal Demon fully and starts fighting.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. I hope they can sort of do that. That's one of the things I don't like about Bayonetta 2 is that it feels too much like a rehash of the original rather than like a complete fresh new thing. You know, new things would be great for the series. I'm really looking forward to like what Bayonetta 3 comes up with. Let's see. Oh
wait, this game is also getting a really cool special edition too.
Oh, is it really?
Exclusive to the BritBongs.
What? The English? The people who won't no. They don't deserve shit, okay? They don't. Why the British? What about, like, is this another statement against Brexit? Is like Nintendo becoming, what's the point?
I don't know why we're not getting a special edition over here in America, but we'll be importing that one from Europe.
Yeah, I don't want to give the English money, so I'm not importing anything. So I'll stick with my American release. But all right, I think that's everything we had to talk about. Like very hyped, right? Very hyped.
Oh wait, there's 2 more things.
Oh yeah, 2 more things.
The Prodigal Son coming back.
The what?
The Prodigal Son.
Oh no. I was talking about like we're still going down the list.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. I meant we were done talking about Astral Chain specifically. Yeah, we're going down the list. What was shown in the Nintendo Direct? Yeah.
I can go on about this game for hours and hours, but.
Yeah. Definitely. I think that needs to be its own dedicated thing. You know, because we're just going over this E3 live stream. We need to keep things going.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a lot to talk about when it comes to Astral Chain, believe me. But let's just do it sporadically as time goes on, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, trailer for Empire of Sin, some mobster game. I don't know what it is.
This one didn't catch me too much.
Yeah, it was just like some cinematic trailer. Like you saw a cigar and some guy in a suit, and that was it. Like
I almost thought it was going to be Mafia coming to Switch.
As if. That's not going to happen. Let's see. We got a Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 trailer shown. Season Pass. It was the Season Pass that led me to decide that I wasn't going to get this game.
Who's developing this? Koei Tecmo?
Yeah, Koei Tecmo, Team Ninja.
That's that Koei Tecmo influence then.
Yeah. Season passes, that's not acceptable. I straight up will not buy games that have season passes anymore. They're just if you're going to have a game with like a bunch of Marvel characters in it, like the Marvel characters should be in the game. Like they shouldn't be hidden behind a season pass. Like no. Core game or nothing. I am not supporting this. Like I haven't even bought the DLC for like Dragon Ball FighterZ or Mortal Kombat 11 yet, and I don't think I will, honestly.
I played the first 2 Ultimate Alliance games.
Yeah,
I like them.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been into comic books for a while. Ever since Comicsgate happened.
Oh yeah. Lots of people.
I just abandoned it. Went straight to manga.
Yep. Manga? Wait, Marvel has a manga? What?
No.
Oh,
Marvel. I think Marvel does have some manga. I went over to Japanese comics.
oh yeah, because they're better. Yeah. Check out what I have. Berserk, a hardcover edition.
Berserk's one of the top 3 best ever created.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't gotten too far into it, but I'm really enjoying it so far. I love the artwork. It's great. I need to read it more, but I'm just so busy, you know? All right, so yeah, so that's Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. We're really looking, not really looking forward to that one. Some people are, I'm sure, like hardcore Marvel fans will get into it. Again, it goes into that thing where like, well, I'm glad it exists, but I don't think I personally am going to support it. Are you going to buy it?
Well, I haven't been into comics for a while, so probably not.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, that's how I feel about it too. I'm just not into the source material. All right, so up next, Cadence of Hero. It came out on June 13th. I bought it right away, and I still have not played it yet. It's on my Switch right now.
Crypt of the Neko Dancer was really cool.
Yeah, I really like that game.
Like how they combine rhythm and dungeon crawler as well.
Yeah, it was really addicting. I played a little bit of it, and I was so into it for a while. I dropped off and never really did everything you can do in that game, but like I did enjoy what I played of it. I'm really excited for playing Cadence. I've heard it's great. For the people who have played it. What?
This is a historical moment right here.
Yeah?
An indie using Nintendo's IP.
Oh, yeah. I can see this happening more going forward. It's like, imagine like the Hollow Knight guys being like, okay, you can make the next 2D Metroid. That would be great, wouldn't it? I'm not sure if that would happen or not, but like, yeah, the possibility's there, right? But yeah, Cadence is like going to be huge, I think. I'm sure it's already on the list of bestsellers for the eShop. Maybe I should look real quick. But yeah, I like Grip the Necrodancer. I like the idea of crossing it over with Zelda, and I like the end result. Like, I don't think the original had boss fights or anything like that. Like, I feel like the art style of the visuals are improved. I think like everything about this release seems to be better than what it was in the past.
The visuals are highly improved.
Yeah. I can attest to that much. Let's see. Where is my Cadence? Yep, it's number 2 on the eShop. It's only behind NBA 2K19. And the only reason that game is higher than it is because it's on sale 95% off for $3. So yeah, of course it's not going to. Oh, Crypt of the Necrodancer jumped up too. It's number 3, right behind it. So not only is Cadence doing well, the indie game that it was based off of, the original, is doing really well too. So that's really good to see. Yeah.
The original got a sale on Switch too. It was like $5.
Yeah. So I can see that. Yeah, Collection of Mana is like 12. Cuphead is 5. Hollow Knight is 4. Man, the bestsellers list is becoming like increasingly really good because like there's nothing but good shit on here. You don't see like Undertale on here anymore. Yeah, Contra's here. That's the Wilds here. Katana Zero's on here.
Hey, remember what Travis said at the end of TSA?
What?
Play hella indie games.
Yeah, I am. Believe me, I am. I bet Suda is too. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to playing Cadence, and I think I will later tonight if the ARMS tournament isn't still going on. I think it is. I hope it is.
Until Monday.
Oh, is it really? Yeah. So I gotta go on there. I gotta fight for our girl. Gotta fight for Min Min. I guarantee you, like I think the character who wins this might actually be the one who's chosen to go into Super Smash Bros. So that's a major incentive for me to like go out there and do this. Like Min Min needs to win. That's all there is to it. Min Min for the win-win. Yeah. So super hyped for that. Yeah. Cadence of Hyrule, really exciting. Not only for the release in and of itself, but like of the future of like indie games and Nintendo's partnership with them, because like there are so many talented indie devs who can do a lot of good stuff that Nintendo themselves would not do. Like I could see, oh, the Hollow Knight games. Like I brought this up. Like they are perfectly equipped to make a Zelda 2 sequel. That would be great. Like I would love that from them. Fantastic. Like that's just an example off the top of my head, but that would be great. Like Nintendo could make all these cool partnerships and like really successful on Switch, and I'm excited to see more. So moving onward, unless you have something else to add. What was that?
I had to clear my throat.
Okay. Okay. Mario and Sonic, no one cares.
Pretty much. Wait.
Yeah. What?
There's this one thing.
Oh, what?
Eggman with his shirt off.
I saw Peach in a karate uniform. That was interesting. That kind of got me interested.
But hey, the direct was great, but they can't all be winners.
Yeah. Okay. We need to make everything in the Olympic Games realistic, and we need to make it all female, and we need to make it like really sexualized. Then maybe I would care. Just like I care for the actual Olympics. Okay. Animal Crossing New Horizons.
This game got there's something about this game getting delayed that's pretty messed up.
Yeah.
It got delayed to ensure the health of the developers, they're not getting overworked.
Mm-hmm.
But when it got delayed, Nintendo stocks went way down.
Yeah. Shareholders are like the absolute worst. I deeply respect Nintendo's. I was actually going to bring this up, but I deeply respect Nintendo's decision to support the workers over their like bottom line. That is like amazing. Like most companies would not do that in like any industry. I am just, this is why Nintendo has like maintained such a high quality standard, is because they treat their employees like this. Like they deeply respect them, and you can see it in the way that they handle situations like this. They don't care their stocks went down. They just want what's best for their workers, and that is phenomenal.
Like, what kind of money-grubbing snake is going to, like, lowers the stock just because it got delayed in order to improve the health of the employees? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, all they care about is money. That's all they care about. It's like the game comes out and, like, it sells. Like, shareholders are, like, super short-term focused because, like, they can technically just bow out, sell their stocks whenever, I think. And, like, they don't need to worry about the long term. Like they just want like money, like immediately. That's why mobile games are so popular with them.
That's how EA operates.
Yeah. Like it's like EA. Yeah. So I wouldn't take anything they do seriously. I would mock them if anything. They don't understand what's really important here is that the games themselves are good. So yeah, really looking forward to that. Animal Crossing in general looks like a massive improvement over New Leaf, which I was not expecting. I was expecting it to be like somewhat of like a City Folk style expansion where like it has some new things, but it's like mostly just a rehab. But no, it's completely different. Like you have all these crazy customization options. It seems to like improve on like what you can do with the town and your community, which has gotten me super hyped. So I'm really thrilled about that.
I don't know, man. This game looks pretty whack to me.
Really? Why? Also,
Mr. Rossetti lost his job because there's autosaves.
Oh, really? Again?
Yes.
Really? Damn. Well, they won't cut him a break, will they? Because he was fucked over by New Leaf too. Because the 3DS doesn't have a reset button, so that's why he was out of work.
And also, I have not seen my girl Isabel.
Oh yeah, no, Isabel. I didn't think about that. She's probably still in New Leaf, like making sure the town isn't like going to go to complete shit.
I want her in this game. She's the cutest thing ever.
Oh yeah, she's adorable. Like
and she's my favorite breed of dog as well.
Oh, what is she? A Shih Tzu?
Shih Tzu.
Yeah, Shih Tzu. Okay. Yeah. Great pick of breed, I think, for Animal Crossing. Great character design. I love her personality. I love how chipper she is about everything. Great character. I didn't notice she was gone. Maybe it'll be a reveal later down the line. Maybe they're saving it for later. But yeah, I didn't register that. I was just glad to see like real gameplay and not like another logo with like a release date. I just.
But besides those two low points, this game was great.
Yeah. Low point. Animal Crossing was not a low point.
Well, Mr. Rossetti losing his job.
Yeah. Okay.
And Isabel.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Other than that, it was a good reveal, I think. Yeah. Okay. So super hype. All right. Sizzle reel of upcoming.
Voice acting.
What? What?
They had voice acting for the beginning, but.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, I noticed that. I don't think it'll be throughout the entire thing. It'll probably just be, sort of what Breath of the Wild does, where it happens during instrumental story moments. So I guess just during the beginning. They're implementing. Yeah, they're implementing more and more voice acting into Nintendo games these days. Like, I guess Nintendo has like reached the point where they're comfortable doing that because like they didn't want to do it after Sunshine because like people hated the voice acting in that game so much, right? I don't know why.
The voice acting in Sunshine is like kind of like a '90s dub.
Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah, but I still think it's like better than like Sonic Adventure. I don't know why it got so much backlash. It's bad, but like it's not. I don't know, for the first ever voice acting. I was like baffled when like Galaxy didn't have voice acting. That was just like the weirdest decision to me. All right, so. Yeah, I think that's everything for Animal Crossing. There's not much to talk about besides like the delay and general gameplay. It just looks like another Animal Crossing game, which I'm super excited for. But
8-player online.
Yeah, I saw the online. Yep, online.
Which is now a thing for in Nintendo games.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing it in Luigi's Mansion as well.
Oh yeah, online. Yep. All right, so online. This is a reel of upcoming games. Yeah, they showed like Silk Song. They showed like a Ni no Kuni. I love how no PlayStation fan is going to is really talking about that at all. When Ni no Kuni first came out, so many people were like hyping it up as this great RPG when like it wasn't shit, right? And now it's like getting remastered for Switch, and nobody cares. Nobody's talking about that game at all. It's just. What else did they showed in the reel? Do you remember?
In the scissor reel?
Yeah.
I don't really remember because it just went by so fast. Like they talk about there's certain games we already knew about.
Yeah. They talked about a lot of indie games, a lot of which they showed on Treehouse, a lot of stuff like that. There was a lot of stuff shown, but it went by so fast. They showed Super Mario Maker 2 in this trailer. That I remember, but like there's a lot of stuff. Like it's just gonna be Oh, My Friend Pedro. They showed that off. That actually has a pre-order sale, so I'm thinking about getting that because like I was really interested in what I saw from like the gameplay trailer and stuff like that. It looks like a pretty good indie game. It's coming out on the 20th, I think, 4 days. So we'll have to see how that turns out. Really looking forward to that. I'm not sure what else they showed. All right, so that's it for the Direct, except for the big 2 announcements near the end. Do you remember what those are?
We got Steve from Minecraft and Smash.
Yeah, we got Steve, we got Master Chief, we got Dark Souls, we got Monster Hunter, like all of these crazy announcements for Smash. No, but no Banjo. No, we're never gonna get Banjo. Okay, no. The Prodigal Son returns. Like we actually get Banjo in a Nintendo game for the first time in almost 20 years. Right? We actually see a return of this iconic Nintendo character back where he belongs on a Nintendo console in a Nintendo exclusive as a DLC character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
How fitting to have Donkey Kong and Diddy and K. Rool introduced him back.
Oh yeah, that was great. I loved that. I don't think I was spoiled on it. I kind of was. Yeah, I remember now. Like I saw it coming because so many people were talking about it. Because like apparently this was another Roy and Ryu situation where people like sort of knew that the characters were coming somehow. So yeah, we had the hero, and so we got Banjo Kazooie, and it was I was not as hyped watching it as I should have been. But like believe me, this is like probably the most hyped I've been about like any DLC character for Smash Ultimate.
Banjo and Smash got memed to death.
Yeah, I got memed to death. I got sick of the memes. Like, it's like usually 90% of the time the leaks are wrong. Like, just look at the whole. What was the leak last time? Oh, the Grinch leak. Yeah, that was spam to hell and back, and that was completely fake. So, yeah, that was obnoxious, and but I am happy to see Banjo actually finally return to Super Smash Bros. Come to Super Smash Bros. It's been a long time coming. Like, this was something that was planned since like the N64 days, wasn't it?
I don't know if it was planned or not. Since all the way back then.
Yeah, I don't know. I think so. There are a ton of characters that Sakurai has like said that like, yeah, I wanted them in Smash, but I couldn't do it for a lot of reasons. Like Pit was supposed to be in Smash N64, but like they couldn't animate his wings or something like that. I believe Banjo was considered and then like dropped because of like the Microsoft acquisition, and then yeah.
We need Nintendo EAD, the Mario developers, to make a new Banjo game.
Yeah, we need Rareware to come back. Just work with Microsoft, get Rareware to work on a Nintendo Switch exclusive, get them to make Banjo 3, for one final rodeo, and then like call it quits, because this is great. I'm really excited to see this.
The Banjo 3 was supposed to come out on GameCube.
Yeah.
But then,
I don't think it ever entered development, did it? Because I think Conquer 2 did.
I just remember that there was a trailer, I think at the E3, one of those really early E3s.
Really? Was it really? Huh. I don't remember seeing it. Like, I know Donkey Kong Racing existed. I know Conquer 2 existed. I know Grab by the Ghoulies was supposed to come out in GameCube. I know.
I could be wrong on this.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it ever actually entered development. That's just my opinion, though.
But it's nice to see him back home where he belongs.
Oh, definitely. So thrilled about that.
It looks better than the Banjo Microsoft made for that Nuts and Bolts game.
Yeah. Even the animation looks better. Amazing. Just amazing the difference in quality in there. And that game wasn't like bad looking either. Like, it was pretty good looking for an early Xbox 360 game, right? As I recall.
Minecraft Steve Zoomers BTFO'd.
Zoomers. Is Minecraft? Yeah, I guess Minecraft is Gen Z. I don't get the impression Minecraft is really that big of a deal anymore. Like, it still sells like millions of copies, but it's not like something that I see people talk about all the time.
Well, it's not really the hot new thing anymore.
Yeah. Fortnite's the hot new thing. Are we gonna get Fortnite guy for Smash? Is Ninja gonna be in Smash? Like, I hope not.
Banjo Boomers for the win.
Okay, so anything about the moveset? Yeah. Kazooie lays eggs. The trailer was great. Funny. I guess we kind of saw it coming. The trailer itself was kind of predictable, I would think. It wasn't like completely original like the Hero one was. We'll have to see. Yeah, it's coming out this fall. Really excited for that. I already own the Smash Pass DLC, so I technically already own it. I just gotta wait for the download to happen, and then we're set. We are set for the future.
Okay, so who do you think the last two characters are going to be?
Yeah. Speculation time. I have no idea. Like, I want to say an ARMS character, so like Min and probably the Astral Chain characters. That's what I would want to see, but it really could be anyone. Like, we're bringing in like third-party characters that like aren't even like owned by Nintendo, that are on like competitors. Where we're like, the door is open. There's like anyone can be in Smash at this point. Like, literally anyone that's ever started a video game, originated from a video game, I should say, could be in Smash.
I'm thinking another Japanese character and one more Western character.
Yeah, people talk about like Doom Guy and stuff like that. I don't know. Like the Dragonborn, I don't know. Maybe not.
Probably Doom Guy, and I want to say Monster Hunter, but Capcom has 3 reps already.
Yeah,
I don't think Monster Hunter is going to get in because it was in Monster Hunter was in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I mean, I don't see it coming back again for Smash. You know, especially since like Capcom made like I would not want to see Monster. Like, bring Monster Hunter back to Switch first, and then we can talk about Monster Hunter getting in Smash Bros. But well, I guess Rathalos, it kind of already is because Rathalos is in the game as like an assist stroke, as a boss. So we'll have to see what happens. It really could be anyone though, from any company.
I'm suspecting some more high-profile third-party characters.
Yeah, I would want like some more Final Fantasy characters, but that's just me. Let's see. Yeah, who else? I would look at like major upcoming Switch exclusives for that because like Dragon Quest XI is in, and that's getting a Switch version, a superior Switch version. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be a Nintendo-owned character. I don't think it's going to be like a directly developed by Nintendo character. I don't think it's going to be like Waluigi or anything like that. I think it's going to be like an actual Switch game release character, like something like that, you know?
Not another Joker situation.
Well, Joker's technically coming to Switch because of like Persona 5 Scramble instead of like the actual base game, but whatever. It could be. Who are you wanting for Smash?
I want to see Doom Guy, and I don't know who else.
Yeah,
maybe,
like who?
Maybe Travis Touchdown.
Oh yeah, Travis. Yeah, Travis is like I think the big one. I think the most likely at this stage because like No More Heroes 3 is in development. People are talking about it. People have been like requesting him to be in it. We'll have to see. Suda wants it to happen. It's really up to Sakurai, I think. I think everyone. I think the stage is set for that. I think it's the most likely candidate actually. Now that you bring it up, yeah, I think that's going to be number 4. You know, Travis Touchdown.
But one thing I like to say about the newcomers is I love that they're not all just generic fighters. They actually incorporate the mechanics of their games into their moveset.
Yeah. I noticed that. That's great. I love that. I love that. That's great. Mm-hmm.
Like the heroes from Dragon Quest, they're not just going to be generic sword boys.
Oh yeah. None of the sword fighters do. Like everybody always memes about this. Like all the sword fighters are the same. No, they aren't. None of them are the same. None of them are the same. And yet somehow there's this narrative that like somehow they're all like identically playing character. Like it's just an attempt to like write off the roster for like as not being as good as people say it is. You know, that really is all it is.
Too many generic anime sword boys.
Yeah. That was the narrative. But like you can't tell me that like Marth is like indistinguishable from like the hero. Like that's just stupid. That's just stupid. You know, that's ridiculous. Any other predictions? I think Travis. I think we agree on that. Travis Touchdown is probably coming. Maybe another Platinum Games character. Maybe.
No Platinum character. There should be someone from Astral Chain. Those two.
Yeah. I want those two. Yeah, definitely. Like just by going by like upcoming releases, like those are the two characters I would want to see the most. Travis and the Astral Chain guys. Like
imagine using that Legion inside Smash.
The what?
How unique that would be.
Oh yeah, great.
Because like Rosalina kind of plays like that with Luma.
Yeah. So it'll be like Rosalina, but like sort of a hack and slash sort of play style.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That would be great. I would love that. Fantastic. I'm already like thrilled with the Smash DLC, so we're just gonna have to wait and see. It really could be anyone, but those are like my two, the two picks that I have, like Astral Chain, Travis Touchdown. It could be anyone. I'd probably be happy with anyone at the rate we're going. We're having this like insane amount of like releases and just fantastic. I love it. This might not even be the end of the DLC. They might like release another expansion. I'm not sure if I would like that because like, you know, it's getting expensive, but we'll have to see. All right, so we're nearing the end here. We have like one final announcement, the Breath of the Wild 2 trailer.
The last of our 3-hour epic.
Yeah, our 3-hour epic. We've been talking about like this E3 thing this entire time. Nintendo released out of nowhere, announced Breath of the Wild 2. It is now in development. It has now entered active development, and we know a little bit about it. We know it takes place in the same world as Breath of the Wild, but with like some major changes apparently, and that there's some other ancient evil apparently like in some tomb or something that you have to fight or whatever.
There's something interesting I want to point out. When this was being streamed at Nintendo's World Store in New York, one of the guys yelled, when you're just seeing those green little wisps floating through the air, this dude yelled, "Zelda in space."
Zelda in space. Yeah, it's not in space. Like the green things are kind of interesting. That's one of the things that interested me most about the trailer. Is that the green things really remind me of like the designs you would see in like Twilight Princess and like the realm of Twilight and stuff like that. So I'm kind of thinking this might harken back to like the Twilight Princess thing of just like the Twilight, that kind of atmosphere and vibe makes what I got off. It's different, but like it's still very familiar. You know what I mean?
Well, that's not even Ganon. What if that's Demise?
Yeah. People are speculating as to who that is. Like I've heard all sorts of theories. Like the most popular are like it's Ganon's body or Demise. I don't think it's either. I think it must be a new villain. Because like Ganon's gone, right? Because like you beat the Calamity, that's it. I think you broke the cycle. Like at the end of Breath of the Wild, like Ganon's gone for good. And then this is like some other. I don't know. Well, look, we just have to learn more at this point. It's impossible to say. They could do anything.
Like it's nice that this is like a Majora's Mask situation.
Yeah. Lots of the same assets. I expect to be reused. It's going to be very similar to Breath of the Wild. The main thing right now that I'm most interested in is like, how is it going to be different? Like I'm assuming that like some major instrumental part of like Breath of the Wild is like not going to be available to you in this game. Like I'm wondering whether or not like you'll be able to use all of your powers or use the hang glider or something like that. Like maybe they'll have like some other method of transportation.
Like if they take away the glider and climbing,
that would like completely change the game. Yeah.
Like that's the reason why we didn't get the hook shot because we had the glider.
Yeah. So I'm thinking like maybe you'll have to like use the hook shot to climb mountains or something like that. Like stuff like that. Like stuff that would change the way you explore the world. So like you explore it in like a different way than like you normally would. Because like there are so many times in Breath of the Wild where like I ended up just climbing a high mountain and then like just jumping off and then just hang glided to where I needed to go. Because that's the best way to get around in that game. Like I didn't use horses a lot in that game at all. To be completely honest with you.
Yeah, I also like to see, like, Shield Surfing was such a cool method of transportation, but there's not a lot of places where you can use it besides the mountains. But they're really high, snowy mountains.
Yeah, I love the snowy mountains. I love the snowboarding. That's great. People are wondering whether or not there are going to be more dungeons in this game, and whether that's going to be the plot, and that like just dungeons will just appear out of the ground, and then you can just sort of go in them.
Because I don't know. It's hard to say what they're going to do because we know they're using the same assets.
Yeah.
And the trailer looked like it's in-engine trailer, so that's what the game's going to look like.
Yeah, definitely. It didn't look fake at all.
Huh?
It didn't look fake at all.
No. They also Nintendo doesn't do like CGI trailers like that too much.
No, they don't. No.
Except for Smash. That's just for introducing a newcomer.
Yeah.
But like with Majora's Mask, it's like Ocarina of Time, but
darker. Yeah.
It's so different.
Yeah. I'm expecting a lot of the same for this one. Like something like A Link Between Worlds too, because like that one actually reused the whole map, but like somehow made it feel fresh and interesting. So like I'm sort of expecting something like that too.
Oh yeah, because Link Between Worlds had pretty much the same map, but still change everything around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I think that's going to be what this is. It's not going to be a lazy sequel or anything like that. It's going to be completely different, but like the way it's different, it's going to be like very, very unexpected. You know, like sort of like how Link Between Worlds had like the wall merge mechanic, or Majora's Mask had like the transformations, or like they're going to take something from the original and like do something with it. I've been coming up with theories like we don't actually know what that evil spirit of like that stone was. You know what I'm talking about? That thing that you can use to take things from your heart and like put it through your stamina.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We don't know what that is. So like I was thinking about this. Like, well, maybe it'll have something to do with that because like Majora's Mask sort of did this thing with like adding Ketons and like stuff that didn't actually exist in Ocarina of Time, and then sort of implemented them into Majora's Mask. Like I'm expecting we're going to see a lot of that in this game. A lot of that.
Like how would is Zelda your partner now, like in Phantom Hourglass? Not Phantom Hourglass.
Spirit Tracks. Yeah. I think she is going to be with you. Yeah. That's going to be great. She's going to go on adventures with you. It's going to be great. Fantastic. I'm going to love this.
Spirit Tracks was great.
Yeah, oh, yeah, you like Spirit Tracks? Yeah, that game is phenomenal. I love that. So yeah, more of that in like a big budget Zelda game is like going to be phenomenal, phenomenal. Like especially bizarre. Like I wonder if Nintendo like is aware that like people don't like Zelda in the original in Breath of the Wild because like she's such an asshole. So maybe they'll like make her better in this game. Maybe that's a major focus.
I mean, but Zelda is. Oh, never mind.
A what?
Never mind.
Yeah, so Zelda's pretty. Yeah, having her like maybe there'll be puzzles where like they'll have to work together. Maybe she'll be playable, like, or she'll be a really good AI companion or whatever. Because like we'll have to see just what direction they want to take this. Like, is it going to be like Ico? Is it going to be like I don't know? Is she going to be like competent? I don't know. Like everything is like up in the air at this point, and it's very, very exciting. And just getting an announcement, a confirmation that this is happening is very, very exciting to me. Like a lot of people are like sort of writing this off, saying that like, oh, it's just a trailer, but no, like we know exactly what this game is going to be like. We played the original game. This is going to be a fantastic successor. Like we can kind of tell that already just by like what we're talking about and just how good Breath of the Wild was. I'm very, very thrilled to see just what Breath of the Wild 2 has to offer.
And one thing I'm happy about is that Onuma said it's going to be just a tad darker
than
Majora's Mask.
Oh, darker than Majora's Mask. Really? That game was all okay. This is gonna what's gonna happen in this game? Like, that's the thing. Like we don't know what exactly is going on, so we'll have to see.
I love those horror elements in Nintendo games because you're not really expecting them a lot of the times, but they do them so well.
Yeah. Like we weren't expecting this for like the next Zelda game. Like we were expecting like, what were we expecting? Like a new open world, right? Like we were expecting like it was going to take a lot longer than this to announce a real sequel, but they're getting around to it.
I was expecting next console.
Yeah, I think I was too, but no, they're doing it like relatively quickly. So we'll have to see.
That concludes the rest of Nintendo's E3.
Yeah, that's everything Nintendo showed. They had the Treehouse live stream, but I unfortunately did not catch any of that. I didn't see a single thing from it. And there were some things that looked interesting that I wanted to see more of, like Sakuna. It's like that Muramasa like 2D action game. That kind of looked interesting, but I didn't watch a whole lot of it. I don't know. I've been following it at all. It's hard to be excited for something like that. You don't know everything about it. So again, I'll have to like sit and watch it sometime.
Okay, so What was your favorite game of the Direct?
Of the Direct?
Yes.
I'm gonna have to say Astral Chain at this point in time, because like everything, like showed a lot of gameplay. The concept looks great. It's unique. It came out of nowhere. Like it's everything I really like about like these big announcements. It's what I tune into for Directs for, essentially. Astral Chain's my favorite, my pick.
That's what I was going to say too, because
Yeah.
I've been obsessed with this game since it was announced.
Oh yeah, so was I. I am like positively thrilled about this. Everything about it looks great. I can't wait to learn more, or play it, I should say.
Well, alrighty.
Yeah, I'm ready to sign off. I'm starving. I haven't eaten yet today. All right, so I'll see you later. That's all for now. Unless there's some other conference we need to talk about. I don't think so.
I don't think so. We've been going on for 3 hours and a half.
Yeah, 3.5 hours. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And just talking about like everything we hated at E3. Yeah. So yeah, that is E3 2019. It was a pretty disappointing show, unless you were a Nintendo fan. I wouldn't say this was the all-time best Nintendo showing by any means.
Was there one Nintendo Direct where they showed Xenoblade Chronicles X and well?
That wasn't an E3 one though. When they first revealed it, that was like early 2014, I think.
Yeah, I think that was the best one.
Yeah.
It was so hyped.
Yeah, I liked. What was the one? It was the one a couple of months. I want to say it was definitely a Switch one, where they made a bunch of announcements that I declared to be like the best one ever. I can't remember which one it was. I don't think this was the best E3 showing they've had. I think maybe 2017 and 2016 were better. I think it's better than last year for sure. But yeah, I still really like it. Yeah, it had variety, but like there weren't like a ton of things that I was super hyped for. Like I felt like it was mostly a bunch of things we've seen already, which is fine. But they mostly just got release dates, which is fine. But like they could have had a bit more, I think. But we have Nintendo Directs; they come out regularly, so we're going to learn more later this year, no matter what. So it's not even a big deal, really.
Yeah. E3 isn't losing its relevancy.
Oh yeah.
E3 is morphing into something else.
Yeah. E3 is like pretty much already dead at this point, completely dead, and like it's only really going on because of its legacy, and like because people brand awareness essentially.
I don't think it's going to die. I think it's going to turn into this big gaming convention.
Yeah. Maybe that might be a good way to do it. They could just rebrand themselves just being like a generic gaming convention instead of like something that like companies actually give showings at. Like you just show up and play these games like that. That's what like people get excited about. So
like it used to be just for journalists.
Yeah.
People can just buy a ticket and go there.
So yeah, E3 is definitely changing. Maybe it'll die, maybe it won't, but we'll definitely have to see just what it turns into in the coming years, okay? I definitely don't think it's going to get bigger from here. All right, so I think that's all we had to talk about. I'm tired. I've been talking for 3.5 hours. I need to get some lunch. So yeah, I'll be seeing you later. We'll probably be talking on Discord later tonight.
Okay, well, see ya.
Yeah, see you later. All right, so that is it for our No More Heroes 3 stream, where we talked about E3 instead for 3.5 hours. Yeah, so thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.